on West Coast time because management is on West Coast time. And so at like 12 a.m., it's like 9 p.m. on the West Coast. And I gotta be up to talk to Miss Mamas, my babies. Dang it. So, yeah, I fell asleep last night on her while we were on FaceTime. So, yeah. Make sure we're all good here. All right. Good morning. 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 Yeah, I saw Gavin Newsom was there, and Trump tried to say, "Oh, me and Newsom have a good relationship." Trump tried to say, "Oh," turn it down. All I wanted to hit Trump with was that, "Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God." Guys, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Knock out the daily gift goal. Knock out the daily gift goal. It's the love you very much. Good morning, Kristen. Yeah. You know, listening to Trump speak yesterday, it reminded me of like that 40-year-old who relives his glory days in high school football. You know, the one who talks about the 4 touchdowns that he scored in the high school championship game when Polk High actually won the championship. That's what Trump reminds me of when he talks about Biden. And he always talks about Biden. Always. Not never, ever. Yep, Uncle Rico. Uncle Rico's type-ish. Looks like we are live everywhere. YouTubes. How we doing, YouTubes? Good morning, RTC2550. Good morning, Miss Bella. Good morning, Cassandra. Who else? Who else is over on YouTubes? What up, Taro? W's in chat for Taro. W's in chat for all the mods. Hey, say how the F could you stand listening to it? I lose IQ if I hear speak longer than 5 seconds. I do it because I have to. The rambling is fucking insane. And it's funny that Trump gets up in front. It's like he forces us to listen to him because, you know, he knows that people will listen. And so we do listen. But he's literally the, you know, the old lonely person's dream, right? Because everyone is forced to actually listen to his nonsense, and they do, right? Because his nonsense actually has impact. Really, Trump winning everything, sure. Really, sure. I'm gonna mute you. You got to get in the box, Bub. You don't get to use my chat as your space, a safe space. I don't care about what you're saying in the comments. Getting a request. One thing that I want to really get into really quickly before we get too far into it, something I wanted to call out and make sure that people knew about. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but yesterday a story broke that a whistleblower announced that ICE sent out an internal memo stating that they no longer had to, and this is them telling their ICE agents, and they no longer had to abide by issuing warrants or having warrants in order to enter premises, right? The whole thing is they no longer have to actually have a warrant to enter a premise if they feel like, oh, you know, this person is here illegally or whatever, right? And in the memo, it cited with Executive Order 14159, and it says that it removes 90 Fed Regulation 8443 and 8444 right? It's said that they removed the necessity to actually to utilize warrants in order to enter premises. Interesting thing about that is an executive order can't overrule court rulings or the Constitution. And so that's illegal, right? And even more so, with it being illegal, this was issued on May 12th, 2025. I want that to sink in for people. Since May 12th, 2025, ICE has been working under the premise that they no longer needed warrants to enter people's homes. And once you start to find this information, you find out this information and even more stuff starts to make sense. Yeah, ICE took a 5-year-old from school, detained their father, and tried to use the child as bait. Yeah, it's super interesting. So I was watching, I heard this firsthand testimony from this, it was an older Asian man, and I don't know, if he was Japanese or Korean or whatever the case may be, but he was an older Asian man. And he talked about how ICE kicked in his door while he was just chilling and grabbed him, put him in handcuffs, and dragged him out, right? He was in his pajamas. They grabbed him, dragged him out, took him down to the precinct or whatever, holding facility, detained him. And he kept trying to tell them that he was an American citizen, and they wouldn't listen. They didn't say like, hey, show me identification. They didn't say, we need to see any proof of documentation. They didn't do any of that. They just snatched him up out of his house and took him to holding. And then his son showed up, and his son came with his identification and showed that, like, hey, he's an American citizen. And all they said was, my bad. I don't understand how anyone's okay with that. I don't understand how anyone, citizens being infringed on, and not just like the rights of American citizens, but the fact that they're not even looking to verify whether or not people are American citizens. They're running into people's homes, they're dragging people out of their homes. I don't see how you're good with that. I will say, not only do I think that we would have better leaders, more human decency. I heard someone say, who said this? I think I was listening to someone else, right? And they were like, the person's character or morality. And the person they were debating said, yeah, you shouldn't vote on the person's morality is going to dictate the policy and things that they actually try to institute. And the one thing that I'll say about, right? Weak men bring bad times. Sure, I hear you. Hey, Tones, I'm going to about that. Come up here and tell me about that. But like Donald Trump's character, his personality, his EOs, because he doesn't pass legislation like this. They haven't passed any type of legislation. The only thing they to sign executive orders as fast as they possibly can And then people try to take it up in court. Let me see what I can do over on YouTube. I just refreshed it. Hopefully that actually helps. But regardless, with a woman leader, I think we would not only get a more quality person, but someone who, and for me, it's not even about like leading the country with kindness, which would be nice, but it's about leading the country with substance, right? I think that's some type of substance where it's not cruelty. That's all Donald Trump knows is cruelty. That's why, like, all of his executive orders are cruelty. That's why the people around him, like Stephen Miller, they love cruelty. Hell, that's why Donald Trump, his presidential portrait or whatever, he wanted to look as evil as possible. Also, he made the comment yesterday that he doesn't understand what's wrong with being a dictator. And Trump supporters, you guys are stupid if you don't push back on that one.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. Hey, you talk slick, but you ain't got source.
No.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force.
Good morning.
The test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Yep.
Yeah. Step in if you dare. You dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
No,
cap,
no.
Shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana.
Good morning.
Step in, yeah. You can hit hard like a punch
in the air.
Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff
or you
get revealed.
Let's go.
Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flames.
It absolutely is.
Don't you wanna sparring with Santana?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I'm Santana, and we are looking for some debates, guys. We are absolutely looking for some debates. And my premise is, I think that it's time for a woman to take the reins. I think that it's time for a woman to lead the country. I think that the country has been led astray, run amok, hoodwink, bamboozle. We didn't land on Turtle Island. Turtle Island landed on us. I think the country has been led incorrectly throughout the history of the country, and that's because of men. And I know for a fact that women would do way better. We could talk about the fact that World War III is still on the brink of happening. I know yesterday was big because Trump folded. Trump folded like a cheap paper plate when he stood in front of real leaders, real NATO leaders, and he folded. The economy's still shit. I don't know if you guys saw this, but OpenAI is saying that ChatGPT looks like it's going to be gone by 2027 because
bleeding money, and they're expected to lose what there's already been 25 data centers canceled or postponed this month. In the month of January, 25 days were supposed to start being built or open have been either canceled or postponed just this month. I think that's a win. The environment is way more important. People are losing their rights each and every day. Hell, ICE is actively, and it's all based in the fragile male ego. The men that have led our country, they posture all because of the fragile male ego. Last but not least, while I want a woman president as a VP, she can stand on her own 2 feet. We do not need to make her palatable. We do not need to coddle people by saying, I refuse. So, if you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. If you disagree with anything on the background, let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little chili peppers. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. If we can knock hi, I think it's Jiro. Jiro, are you a Trump supporter or disagree on the background?
Yes, I'm a Trump supporter.
You're a Trump supporter? All right, perfect. Question, just to verify, what state do you currently see?
Yes.
Okay. What time is it right now in Florida, Tallahassee?
9:27.
Okay. You do know that, like,
Yes.
Florida's the state. You know that,
Yes.
right?
Yes. What are you living? The capital.
Okay. I'm going to take your word. Or you know what? Really quick, NFL teams in Florida. No, you go. Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Someone said racial profiling. Profiling when I just have the question about the football teams. And 3, get up here and tell me yourself. Fucking say it with your chest. And 4, he fucking ran. He folded and ran. That's racial profiling.
You're a fucking nigger.
I know. Is that all you got, though?
Dumb nigger.
I know. Hey,
That's
listen,
what you
I know.
are.
Listen, oh, nigger. You're weak. Do you have anything else? Listen. Your clan ancestors would be ashamed of you because you haven't upping new. Be special. Be unique. You just coming up here and saying, nigger, that doesn't make me melt. That doesn't scare me. You're weak. You hide behind a fake profile pic and you ran. I didn't even kick him. Didn't even have to kick him. That's how fucking weak they are. That's how fucking weak they are. I didn't even... Fucking clowns. He's already been removed. Chat, just an FYI, reporting hurts live overall. 1 second. Reporting hurts live overall. I can take care of him. Just let me handle it. We're good. No need to report for someone that disagrees with something on the background.
Yes. Both.
Okay. You sound kind of low or far away. Better, a lot better. So you said yes, you are a Trump supporter, or do you specifically just disagree with something on the background?
Both. So I do support Trump. Actually, one thing that you said here like 1 minute ago.
Okay.
About...
Whoa. 1 second. 1 second. We'll get into that. A quick question for you though, if you don't. Oh wait, hold on. Are you not American? Do you live in the U.S.?
I'm European, actually.
Okay. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background and you are speak with people that are in the United States of America. I appreciate all of my international people. I love you. Not the ones that disagree because fuck you, but for some debates for people that currently live in the United States of America and you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something.
So that it's going to be blocking her driveway.
Hi, Nisi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? I guess that's no. We'll then drop it down. Hi, someone that disagree. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Someone said there's something wrong with the YouTube. What's wrong with the YouTube stream? What's wrong with the YouTube stream? I'm gonna mute you. And so now not even you get to talk to me from the comments, Bub. Oh, YouTube's lagging. Yeah, it does. Oh, they said it's choppy and low. I don't know. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if there's anything that I can do about that. Jeebus. It says that everything is like the actual signal is excellent on my side. TikTok, is anyone seeing any type of issue over here? Can we check TikTok? Can we check TikTok and YouTube? And I actually need to start on Instagram. I mean, not YouTube, TikTok and Twitch. I think it's just a YouTube issue. YouTube does that every once in a while. All right, sorry. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only, sounds good again? Okay. We're only looking for something, we're only looking for some debates. Popcorn, no one's avoiding you, but you bring no substance to the conversation. You literally bring no substance. Back, we're good on YouTube, okay. I'll give you a few minutes in the box, Popcorn. But if you don't actually provide any type of substance, any type of coherent thoughts, if you can't debate, sure. If you don't provide any type of substance, any type of coherent thoughts, anything, then I'm going to kick you because, like, Popcorn, what are we even doing? Let's try this person first, though. Just Jay, hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Well, I was just trying to understand what you're saying. I did vote for Trump. I pressed the request before I really read carefully, but it says time for women. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. I think that men in leadership have failed our country. We can take a look specifically as far as what this current administration is doing, but the actual history of our country has been led by men, right? And so we are where we are today because of them. And a couple of things, of course, we're on the brink of World War III. Our economy is floundering. People have lost rights. It's all because of the fragile male ego. And while I think that we need a woman president, I think that the premise that we need to saddle her with a white man as a VP, I completely reject that. So those are my premises. Do you disagree with any of that?
Well, I mean, there are women that I do deem like charismatic, like people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I like Candace Owens. You know, people like that I think are pretty charismatic. But for the most part, when in world history have women ever led like a nation or a country? I mean, there are a few women leaders here and there, but
There are
why
women
do you
leading
think that
countries
if the-
today,
if the-
right now.
why do you think that in the last 10,000 years we really haven't seen like an overwhelming situation where women are leading the world? I mean, they're leading
Yeah,
in.
hold on one
certain
second. Hold on. I don't want to get too far. I don't want to get too far. So you do disagree though overall. So okay, cool. I'll talk to you. One second. Before we go too far though, just Jay. Question. Do you know who I am?
I see you on TikTok Live. I believe you have an impressive resume. I think I heard you say that you were like a professional fighter, I think, but I just don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Not at all.
Perfect. Thank you. 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with any of these points on the background. I am Santana, and if you are a friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and help push us out to the FYP. Also, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. If you guys can knock those out a couple of times, it'll help push us out as well. So do all the wonderful things. Just Jay is here, and Just Jay, listen, I'm going to go ahead and get directly into your question because your premise is, while you think some women are charismatic, when have women led countries or nations or whatever the case may be throughout the history of the world? They've done it plenty of times, point blank period. They've done it in history, they've done it in modern day, and hell, they do it today. There's plenty of women leaders. Most developed nations throughout the world have had women take the helms of their society. And even more so, one of my favorite things, right? Do you know who, gosh darn it, do you know who Angela Merkel is?
Yeah, she's the German prime minister, or
Yeah, used to be. Absolutely. During Trump's first term, she was the head of Germany. So
yeah, there's a lot of very strange conspiracies about her, by the way. But all right,
that's fine. Have you ever heard of the title "Leader of the Free World"?
Yes.
Who's normally the leader of the free world?
The American media has named the president of the U.S. the leader of the free world.
Well, not the American media, but it's the precedents that's set by pretty much global society. And it normally falls on the president of the United States because the United States tends to be the quote unquote leader, right, when it comes to the free world. And during Donald Trump's first term, Donald Trump did such a horrible job with international relations and such a horrible job with actually garnering any type of respect on the world stage that his peers removed the quote unquote title of leader of the free world and deemed that Angela Merkel, the leader of Germany, was now the leader of the free world during Trump's first administration. But the point that I'm trying to get across is us having women lead throughout the history of the world is not only something that has not happened to a high clip because of the patriarchal system, but it does not lends itself, it does not lend itself to saying like, we don't need women to be the leaders, right? I mean, I think that women have so many more attributes, more than men, that lends themselves to being stronger leaders and better leaders.
Okay. Well, what was so good about Angela Merkel? She was very controversial.
Angela Merkel?
In all kinds of ways. She kind of invented the idea of the refugee and migration influx, which a lot of Europeans are not happy about. Now they say that they've been displaced. The country.
Angela Merkel created refugees?
She led the. She apparently led the migration influx policies that other countries started to do.
Oh, wait, so you're saying that she had a policy as far as accepting refugees into Germany, and then other countries is like, oh, this is a good idea, we're going to copy that?
Yes, and then
Angela Merkel, that sounds like a leader to me.
Well, a lot of Europeans are not happy about it, and they feel displaced.
I hear you. Like, I'm not exactly sure the history of whether she did or did not cause this complete change and acceptance of refugees and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about that. I do care about the United States of America and how we conduct things and what it would look like as far as a woman under like control as far as our country. So I don't necessarily want to talk about Angela Merkel. I was just using her as an example as far as women leadership, right? But one last question on that. Like, one last question on that actual topic, right? One last question on that topic before we get back to the rest of the U.S. One last question before we get back to the topic of the U.S. Are you a Christian?
No.
You don't believe in Jesus Christ?
I'm not a Christian.
You're not a Christian. You're not a follower of Christ.
My family's not Christian. We weren't born to Christianity. I'm not a follower of Christ.
Okay. What's your religion?
I have a Jewish background.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You have a Jewish background.
Yeah.
What does that mean? So are you Jewish, or what do you mean you have a Jewish background?
Well, I'm not really a practicing Jewish person, but I have a Jewish background.
Huh. Okay. Never mind.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I just, like, you're being kind of vague about a couple of things, and it was, never mind. Fuck the point. Let's get back to the U.S. So Donald Trump is currently leading our country, and it's destroying our country in multiple ways, but even more than that, the history of our country, over 90% of all of the Congress throughout the history of the world.
Well, I would actually beg to differ on you with that assertion.
What assertion? What assertion?
I would beg to differ on that assumption that you're making.
What's the assumption?
That Donald Trump is destroying the U.S. I would say that Biden.
Oh, I didn't think that was an assumption. I thought that was just a fact.
You just said that Trump is
destroying the country. Yeah. That's empirical.
Is lower, or growth is higher.
That's not true.
We plugged the border.
That's not true.
Our military seems to be strengthening. Our
military has already been strong. Prices aren't going down. Hey, Just Jay, just an FYI, and this is, I'm going to give you like a warning so you can kind of back away from this. But I have a couple of rules that I'm following in all 2026. First rule is, you crash out, you lose, right? Pretty simple. It's on the background. Second rule is that if you're going to say something, I'm going to make you prove it, right? If you make like statements that are like empirical statements, then you're going to have to actually prove what you're saying. So saying that Donald Trump plugged the border or Donald Trump lower prices and all this other stuff, I'm telling you right now, it's not true. If you want to stick on that, I'm going to need a source. Just an FYI. So just be careful about the things that you say.
I made a claim that the inflationary rate was dropping. So
the inflationary was dropping.
Reuters. the inflation rate is at about 2% or
No, it's not.
1.8%.
No, it's not.
1.8%, which is on. Well, you can look at
Inflation
Reuters,
is not at
Economic.
1.8%.
At the end of December 2025, was around 1.8%.
No, it was not.
Okay, you can look. You can
Sure,
look at
go
multiple
give me a
sources.
specific source that proves that inflation at the end of
Trading,
December.
economics.
Sure, hey, go give me a source that proves that.
Reuters.
Listen to me. You just made the statement that at the end of December, inflation was at 1.8%. Give me a direct source that proves at the end of December that inflation was at 1.8%. Like, that's just a bold-faced lie. Like, that's not even a bold-faced lie. You use a fucking lie and ain't no truth in you.
Actually, 2.7%.
Yep.
Trading economics. Okay.
Okay.
Trading.
Yeah. So
economics.
2.7%. Yes, absolutely. No worries. I was just about to say that's a huge thing.
Trading economics, 2.7%.
Cool. Now, question for you: when you pulled that information,
I was actually quoting Trump.
yeah, you definitely shouldn't
I
quote
think
him. He lies all the time.
Quoting January's inflation rate numbers, which
He lies all the time. Like, there's no way you should quote him. But what with the actual inflation rate of being,
I know about his 300,000 lies.
300,000. Is there a delay? Like, it feels like when I start talking, there may be a delay, and then you hop in and start talking. Or like,
my connection is not that great. I have to admit, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, are you on Wi-Fi or cellular data?
Yeah, Wi-Fi. Yep.
Can you try disconnecting just for a second and see if that improves it? I'm going to thank a couple of people real quick.
We're gonna lose connection. I got to go to the gym in about 3 minutes anyway. I just wanted to say hi.
Okay, just an FYI, you should probably read why the inflation rate was listed at 2.7%. It's not because inflation is actually technically down. It's just because we're missing a large portion of data that was never reported while the government was shut down. And so even with the 2.7 that was released, the head of the Fed has said that there's a lot of skepticism around that number. And even more so is persistent that tariffs have driven costs up and inflation will continue to rise. And he's also said that as far as reducing interest rates moving forward, he's going to have an even higher bar as far as reducing interest rates. So I will grant you that technically the information that we have says that it's 2.7, but there's 40 some odd days of data missing from the inflation rate. So there's that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and let you go. Have a good workout.
I just have a comment about inflation. I think
I don't want you to make a comment and then just leave. Like, if you're going to stay, we can dig into it, but I don't care about your comment. And then, come back after you finish the gym. W's in chat for Amanda for the $1 donation. Amanda, W's in chat, Sarah for the Galaxy. Thank you. Amanda, thank you for the $1. I'm going to keep that in mind while I'm live today, and I hope you enjoy. And I hope everything is okay. All right, listen, let's read this one out. I'm not even going to say W, but Anthony sent me a 50-cent donation, guys, and said, it's too early to be spreading hate. Trump is your president. How do you feel about you only contributing to the growth of the Trump train success clown? First and foremost, Anthony, you're a brokey. You sent 50 cents because that's all you got. Secondly, you would rather send your last 50 cents than actually get in the box. Let's fucking go, Sarah. W's in the chat for Sarah. You would rather send your last 50 cents to talk nonsense and then actually get in the box and debate it. If you weren't such a coward, you would actually get up here instead of sending 50 cents to try to say some shit that's just wrong. And you know what? Your wrong opinion is worth less than 50 cents to me, period. You're a coward. Anyway, W's in chat for Angie. Angie sent a $5 donation saying, just a bit of news. I'm not going to read that last part out loud, Angie, but yeah, I saw that yesterday and it's devastating. I saw that and it's fucking crazy. It's crazy, but it's not shocking. W's in the chat for Brambleclaw. who sent a $10 super chat to say, thoughts on ICE getting permission to enter print. You know what? I'm not going to say anything about it. W's in the chat. I talked about that this morning, but that's going to be a part of the premise that I'm already digging into when it comes to lost rights. So I'm going to hold it. Pam Bondi is out here locking up pregnant women. W's in the chat for Dylan for the $6.99 super chat to say, not trying to, I guess you meant to say not trying to be accusatory in any way, just wondering why Sasha Riley isn't brought up on debates more. Sorry and thanks. Yeah, the only reason I'm not bringing up Sasha Riley at this moment is because I don't necessarily like to speak on things that can't be completely substantiated. And while I have heard the story and I think the story is important and it should be amplified, until I can, fully vet it or it's fully vetted in some other way, I don't necessarily want to say the thing, but I'm paying close attention to it. But that's a great question. I think a lot of people are just hesitant until we can completely substantiate it. I never want to put out anything that is misinformation or disinformation or something we have to take a step back on. Howdy, partner. That's it. Debbie's in the chat for Miss Bella for the $5 super chat to say inflation rates were controlled by the Fed, not the president, who's currently fighting to keep his job. Who's currently fighting to keep his job? Jerome Powell. You're absolutely right. Debbie's in chat for Amanda for the $10 donation saying, good morning, Santana. If you're staying on the East Coast this weekend, be safe. I'm in Detroit. We're getting hammered with winter fuckery. Yeah, I'm trying to, not going to hold you. I don't want to be here for that. So I'm going to try to skedaddle and hopefully get out of here before the clobbering starts. And last but not least, W's in chat for Doreen for the $3 donation saying, hi from Minnesota. It's getting scarier by the day, and you're a calming part of my day. So thank you. Absolutely. Doreen, stay safe. Our thoughts and minds are with you, and we will have your back. W's in chat for Doreen. Guys, if anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Also, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little pink heart puffs. Little pink heart puffs. Melvin, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Melvin? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you. JC, why do your people terrorize people wearing flags and shirt? Answer that. I don't know what you're saying, JC, but I'm gonna mute you. Come up here and I'll tell you about, holy shit, W's in the chat. JC, I just muted you. Get in the box. If you have a question, what's the funniest thing? For some reason, they think that they're gonna get answers from the chat. If a Trump supporter comes in here and they're putting their questions in the comment, don't address their questions. Don't answer their questions. Just say, hey, get in the box. They want attention. They want their questions answered. We're not going to answer their questions. We're not going to give them attention unless they're willing to get on the panel. We got it? Are we good, chat? We're good. All right. We're going to bring popcorn up. Popcorn, this is your warning. If you don't bring any type of substance, then you're gone. All right. Popcorn, good morning. How are you?
I'm living the dream. How are you?
Good. Popcorn. I think that it's time for a woman leader. I think that our country deserves not only that type of progression, but the type of leadership that having a woman in place would actually bring. Because currently we are, on the brink of World War III still, even though Donald Trump folded like a cheap paper plate yesterday, the economy's floundering, people are losing rights. It's all because of the fragile male ego. And last but not least, I think having a white man as a VP would be a hindrance to any woman candidate. So, Popcorn, which point do you feel strongly about that you can actually defend?
I would say based on somebody's candidacy or position at a job based on your race or sex is it's not American, and it's just wrong.
It's absolutely
American. I think that we need to hire and vote for the best candidate, which we did in 2024.
That's not true.
It is true. So we need to. Well, it is. It's subjective, but it is.
It's not. Anyway,
And,
okay. So is
but
the
yeah.
point that you're pushing back on is me saying that there should be no white men as a VP?
Why does it got to be men or white men? Why can't it just be the best? The best
No, I
person
said
for the
white
job?
men specifically. Would you like to know why I'm saying white men?
Because you're racist.
You don't know what race nor racism is, but that's fine.
You?
Okay, popcorn. Again, remember, I said substance. So you saying, that's not substance. Would you like to know why I said no white men as a VP? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect.
Explain yourself.
The reason why I said I would not want a white man as a VP, a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, I think there's a premise that people believe that in order to have our first woman our first woman president, we need to saddle her with a straight white man as vice president to make her more palatable. I disagree with that. I think that the only way that we'll get true progression is that we allow this woman to stand on her own 2 feet. I'm not saying there aren't any white men that wouldn't make a great VP. I mean, specifically, I think Andy Bashir would make a great VP. But I think that saddling her with a white man to make her more palatable and more acceptable for everyone else in the country would just be detrimental. She doesn't need a big, strong man standing behind her to actually help her, right? So that's number one. But also number two, you got some wicked background noise. Number two, the premise that white men have been overwhelmingly represented as far as Congress throughout the 250 years or almost 250 years of our country. About 90% of our Congress, when it comes to the House, Senate, and presidency, has been white men. And we are currently standing where we are today because of that leadership. Hey, what up, Chewy? W's in the chat for Chewy. Thank you for the well. We're standing where we are today because of those white men specifically who are willing to pass legislation and vote that harm others, different groups as far as minorities, but they never pass legislation or vote against their own best interests. So those are the reasons why I say that we don't need a white man as a vice president for our first ever woman president.
Yeah, I think we should stop dictating based on race. That's what VP Harris did when she passed up Governor Shapiro because he was Jewish.
Jewish isn't a race.
It's identifying somebody by a category, right?
Jewish is not a race.
I never said it was.
You just said, Pat. You said we should stop looking at people based off of the race, and then you said
which
VP
is what
Harris
you're
did
advocating.
that. Yeah, but you said VP Harris did that when she passed up Ben Shapiro because he's Jewish. Jewish is not a race.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. Picking somebody based on a category such as a white race, black race, or Jews, or Christians,
Jewish,
or Muslims.
Jewish, and those aren't races; those are religions.
I'm not talking about just races. I'm talking about everything.
Wait, stop right here.
All categories, men, women.
Popcorn.
What?
Name the races that are recognized within the United States.
There's 5 races. There's 5 races. It's not Jewish.
Okay, what are the races?
Jesus Christ, dude. I don't care what the 5 races are. It's not the point. It's not the point at all. I don't care about the races.
It's literally the point because
do.
you know what it is? You keep conflating race, religion, and all this stuff. Like you're trying to, for some reason, like you're trying to mix up my argument. I'm being very specific in what I'm saying. I don't think that the first woman president needs a white man as her VP. I don't care if it's a black man. I don't care if it's a white woman. I don't care if it's a Jewish woman. I don't care about any of those other things. I'm saying specifically white men, and you sitting here trying to conflate religion, race, and gender. No, that doesn't matter. Like, if you're going to actually speak on the things, then be clear and concise and don't conflate my points.
Okay, so your point is a racial point. My point is categorizing somebody by either race, gender, a religion, and that's what you guys like to do. You like to divide people and compartmentalize and be divisive. Basically, it's what you are. So my point is
how
not
are we
just
div-
race.
how
My
are we
point
divisive?
is you guys categorize people based on race, gender, religion, and all that stuff. And I'm saying that we should not be doing that.
Wait 1 second. I didn't categorize anyone based off of anything. I didn't create race. White
You
people
just did.
created race. No. White
You just
people
did.
created race.
White people create racism.
No, they created both.
God created races, right? Of course, there's only one race. It's the human race, but
Popcorn, please remember what I said.
yes, I did. I just repeated it back to you.
Substance. Popcorn. Who created race?
God.
No.
Well, then who created? So the white man said, "There shall be white men, and there shall be black men, and there shall be brown men." No, dude. The hell are you talking about? Dude, you're bad at this.
Okay, Popcorn, I'm not going to call you stupid because I'm trying to actually.
Yes, you are stupid.
So I'm trying to be nice, Popcorn. I was literally just saying I'm not going to call you stupid because I'm going to try to be productive. And so I'm going to try to have this conversation with you.
Okay, well, let's
Popcorn,
go.
I'm just letting you know, if you lean into stupidity, then I'm going to get on some fuck shit. So just
okay,
FYI.
on that fuck shit then.
Yeah. So.
Because I match the energy.
Yeah, sure you do. Popcorn. Race was created by a Portuguese man by the name of Gomes de Zurara, right? Gomes de Zurara was he was a chronicler for who is it, Henry the Navigator? Anyway, he actually categorized people that were black, right, as people that were from the lower hemisphere. He said they were uncivilized, and he said that they needed to be civilized. And he actually got justification from the Catholic Church to enslave those black people. And the premise of that was, in order to actually justify chattel slavery, there were 2 papal bulls that were put out. They documented the actual creation of race, and that was the separation. That's when people started to be separated based off of the social construct that others, non-white people. That was the first documentation of race, and it has evolved from that point. Prior to that, no one was categorized in these racial categories. So the point that I'm making is that literally a white man, a white Portuguese man, created race in order to justify chattel slavery.
Right. So you think that was wrong, that dividing humans up into race.
Do you think that chattel slavery was wrong, Popcorn?
Oh, no, that's what I'm asking you. Are you saying that
do you
that's
think
wrong?
chattel slavery was wrong, Popcorn?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, it was wrong.
Okay, so it's wrong to categorize by race, and you agree with that. So why
No, I said that it was wrong to create
it should
race.
not be a white man?
I said it was wrong to create race, Popcorn.
VP, or there should be no more white men.
You're literally trying to
office.
conflate what I'm saying. I
No,
said
I'm
it was
not.
wrong to create race. We're already in those racial categories, so I can't just categorize people by race.
So
you're already categorized by race.
So you're just continuing on with that racism because that's why it was created, right?
Do we live
just
in a
admitted that it
society
was created
where
to divide the races and implement racism? Would you agree or disagree?
Popcorn, so are you saying that I should no longer actually live in a society? I should no longer acknowledge the societal norms of race? Is that what your premise is?
I'm saying that if it's wrong, and you just said it's wrong, then why do you continue that tradition?
Because that's a racial. Okay. This is my last time trying to be patient with you, Popcorn. Seriously. Last time.
You're not very good at this.
Last time I put you on mute, Popcorn. Have self-control. You begged to get up here. You literally begged to get up here. You literally, that's fine. And now no one can hear you. Like the only person that can hear you now is me, because I'm going to put you on mute. I need you to stay muted. You begged to get up here and you were spamming in the chat over and over. I said, stay muted. Popcorn, if you come off mute again, I'm just going to kick you. You begged to get up here. You spammed over and over and over in the chat. Bring me up. Santana's scared to debate me. Bring me up, bring me up, bring me up. And before I brought you up, I told you that if you don't bring substance, if you don't actually engage, then I'm going to get rid of you. I'm giving you an opportunity. I want you to really engage. Really engage. Now, with that being said, let me answer your question directly. Yes, the system of race was created in order to justify chattel slavery. It was created to do just that. Me living within that system and acknowledging that system exists does not mean that I agree with the system. So me sitting here saying, yes, racial categories exist, and yes, we fall within racial categories based off of our phenotypical characteristics, does not mean that it's something that I approve of. It's not something that I want. So your premise that, oh, we're using racial categories. Yes, that's how the world works. Absolutely. 1 second. Tanner, I just muted you. And I sent you a request. Come up here and let's hear it on the panel. So Popcorn, the point that I'm trying to drill home is understanding the racial categories, and not only the racial categories, but the society that we've lived in and everything that has occurred due to white men having power within our country. I think that it's time for white men to take a step back from leadership. And I think that it's time for other minority groups to step up and have a turn to actually guide the country. Because when you have people that have been disenfranchised, which white men have never been disenfranchised, you have an opportunity to have people that think more of others versus just thinking of themselves.
Right. And again, I'll respond by saying that divisiveness and the reason why race was created, you're continuing on that tradition. That's exactly what
anything
you're
that I
doing.
said.
You
Popcorn.
don't know it. Yes,
Popcorn.
I did,
What
but
did
you're
I
not listening to me.
Okay, tell me what I said then. Why am I continuing?
You said because you live and exist in a system that was created a long time ago, centuries ago, that's the environment that you're operating in. And I'm saying that that's not a good environment. You shouldn't base your decision based on race, which is what you're doing. And you're only seeing it through the lens of racism, religion, or gender. And that's what you do. And that's why you'll forever be wrong.
What was the end reason that I just said why?
Because that's the system that we live in, right?
No. At the very end, as far as why I said that we need other minority groups to lead. Why?
Because white men have never been subject to the things that black individuals or minorities or women have been through, and that's why they should need to take a step back and allow women and people of minorities to take the reins, essentially. But again,
that's why. Finish the thought. You're almost there. You didn't complete it fully. I'm giving you credit, but finish the thought, because there's a little bit more to the why. Finish it.
Okay, then re-elaborate then, because I'm
sure. I'll run through it one more time. The reason why I'm saying that I think it's time for women and minorities to actually lead the country is because white men have never been disenfranchised. They've never been impacted by being othered. Everyone else has been impacted by being othered, while white men have never been impacted by being othered. And so if we want a society that is going to be progressive and actually do what's best for everyone, then we have to step outside of the current structure, which is white men leading, because they're willing to pass legislations and laws that disenfranchise other people, but they will never do anything that actually disenfranchise themselves. And so if we have people that are part of underrepresented groups, they're going to be thinking of other people and not just themselves. They think of the collective, not just the individual. That's the point. If we want someone that's going to think about all Americans, we have to have someone in power that can understand the struggles of all Americans, not just the struggles that they go through as a white man.
Right. And you do that by discriminating against people who look different than you. Got it.
How is that discrimination?
Oh, wow, dude. because you think that white men have never been discriminated against and all that, which we are.
How are white men discriminated against?
Boy, you can take a look at affirmative action, hiring practices, DEI, and all that
okay,
stuff.
Hold on. All right. So affirmative action discriminated against white men. That's what you're saying.
it's been used to discriminate against white men. The idea
Why?
behind it was good, but
Yeah,
the implementation of it is
I was just
not.
about to say, why was affirmative action needed?
It was needed because of the mass discrimination against Black individuals, minorities, and women.
Exactly. So you're telling me that the system that was created, or not the system, but the actual thing that was created, because there was not only an underrepresentation of the other marginalized groups, but the fact that white men who held power specifically kept any type of progression from anyone that wasn't white men is now the thing that was used to actually discriminate against white men.
Right, and you would agree that that was wrong, that white men used the system.
No, I wouldn't agree to any of that shit that you're saying. Did you hear what I just said, Popcorn? Did you even consume what I just said?
Yes, I did.
Repeat it.
Did you hear what I said?
No, because you started, I almost said a word. Popcorn, repeat what I just said to you.
You said a whole bunch of nothing, really.
See, and there's the disconnect. You're not listening to comprehend.
Dude, you're going around in circles, making no sense.
You're not listening to comprehend. You're listening to respond. I'm going to try this one more time, Popcorn, and I'm going to go slow when I say it. Please listen. Please listen. You're telling me that the tool that was created because white men who held power was holding any type of progression from other minority groups, the actual thing that was implemented to stop them from being able to withhold any type of progression from those other peoples, you're saying that's the thing that has discriminated against white men?
The thing that was created to right a wrong has been used to wrong people within America. Does that make sense?
No. Try it again. Say it a different way.
So white men created a system to use that system against minorities and women, people who did not look like them. Thus, you needed affirmative action to counter that. But what I'm saying is what affirmative action has done was like a seesaw. It went back and the pendulum swung the other way. And now it's white men that's being discriminated against. And you said earlier that you would agree that it's wrong to racially discriminate against people.
I never said.
So why do you?
I never said what you're saying. You're trying to twist what I'm saying.
Oh, so you agree with
white men? What I'm saying is I don't think this is racial discrimination. That's how we got to this entire point. How is it racial discrimination? It would be discrimination if my premise was founded on nothing. And my premise of white men, the premise of not wanting to have a white man as VP is based off of the over 90% of our Congress has been led by white men. Our current Congress is made up of 80% men, but 74% of white men, right? So the point that I'm getting across is that they have specifically led us to where we are today. It doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrats, or hell, even independent. Specifically, white men have been the catalyst and have driven us to where we are today. And so since the people who have overwhelmingly driven us to where we are today are the ones that have caused the issue, I don't want them to have a hand in this next wave of leadership. So how is that discrimination? By saying someone has had about 250 years and they've guided us to where we are today, and we no longer want them to control power?
Because it was wrong then, just as it's wrong now. If you take a look at Governor Spanberger in Virginia and what she just proposed, in Virginia, any federal contracts that's under $100,000 can only go to someone who's a minority or women-owned businesses, meaning that only white men are cut out from any kind of deal. And this is legislation that's being proposed in Virginia That's absolutely unconstitutional.
Look,
Discriminating
even your
against white
tongue
men.
won't let you get that lie out. Question, Popcorn.
It's not a lie, it's a fact.
Why? No. Why is there a need to implement any type of legislation that provides opportunities for non-white men?
Because it's discriminating against the category of people out there.
Stop and
that's
listen
wrong.
to the question, Popcorn. Why is there a need to pass any type of legislation that
There's not.
Why is there a need to pass any type of legislation that does not include white men?
There's no need for that. It's wrong.
I know you feel like it's wrong because you're a fragile white man and the fifis in your tum-tum are screaming that this is wrong because no one's thinking about you, but it's not. The point is, Popcorn, the reason why there is a need for this is because white men have held power, white men hold power, and since white men have held power and hold power, they coalesce power amongst themselves without sharing power. And so they keep resources and they don't share resources. And that's why there's a need for other minority groups to gain access to those resources, whether it's women, whether it's non-white people, whether it's people with disabilities, whether it's people within the queer community. They have all been disenfranchised by the patriarchal system, which white men, straight white men, sat at the top of, and they continue to hoard that power. They continue to hoard those resources, and they don't think about others. They only think about themselves.
Right. And so again, you would agree that implementing any kind of legislation that dictates something one way or another based on race is right in your eyes because of the discrimination that's happened 100 years ago or whatever, or 80 years ago.
What are you talking about 80 years ago?
Before the Civil Rights Act.
There's been discrimination after the Civil. Popcorn, what's redlining?
So yes, I would agree that there's discrimination.
Sure,
and it's
what's
happening right now, and you're approving of it.
Popcorn, what's redlining?
I don't know. In context of what? Explain yourself.
On the context of redlining.
Unaliving. If you're in the ER and the doctor says redlining.
Not flatlining, Popcorn, redlining.
Okay. So what does redlining mean to you?
Not what does it mean to me. What is redlining, Popcorn?
I don't know. Explain. Not sure what that has to do with the conversation.
How do you think you're equipped with this equipped for this conversation, Popcorn?
Like, because seriously. You're getting dog walked and you don't like it.
How am I getting dog walked if you don't even know what redlining is?
I don't care about redlining. I care about you.
I know you don't because you're a white man and you don't get it. Popcorn. And I'm
dude,
again,
you're a racist. Just say it. You're a racist.
You don't know what race is. You don't know what racism is. You don't know shit, Popcorn. You don't. Like,
but I know enough to cook you.
Stop it. I'm just gonna say this, Popcorn, and I'm gonna say this in all sincerity. Like I'm being very sincere right now. I'm not this. There's no malice in what I'm about to say. I want you to hear this, Popcorn. There is no malice in what I'm about to say. You specifically, you're wrong. You're what's wrong with America. You're what's wrong with our society. You're a mediocre white man who doesn't know things, that doesn't understand things, that doesn't research things, that doesn't read, that doesn't care, that doesn't comprehend. You literally are sitting up here. You're an ultra-crepidarian. That's what you are. You're someone that speaks with a sense of authority and act as if you have knowledge while having none. You speak on things that you don't know. You say things that aren't rooted in facts. You do not know any of these things. And for you to come up here and try to have this conversation, yes, I know, dog walking you, Popcorn, you do this shit every single time. You come on, not just my panel, right? You come on multiple panels, right?
Dog
And
walk.
you go into all of these lives and you don't provide any information, facts, and the only thing that you
Why
do
you
is talk
lying?
from your feelings. And then after getting fucking destroyed, you just say, "Oh,
You got
cooked you, got dog walk." You don't even know what redlining is. You don't know the difference between
It's not
race
relevant.
and religion. You didn't even know that Jewish
It's
is
not
not a
relevant.
race. You don't know
Never
things.
said it was.
You don't know things.
I never
And at
said
this
it was.
point, at this point, Popcorn,
Never said
I'm
it
not going to
was.
hold you. Not only
Dog
do
walk.
you not even deserve to be up on the panel, you
Enjoy
don't
being
deserve
dog
to be
walk.
in my space. That's fine. That's fine. You're getting
You got
permaban
cooked, bro.
for free because you're stupid.
You got
There's no reason for you to be here. You're just stupid. You bring no substance. That was a free permaban. I refuse to ever engage with that again. Like ever. You all will never see him in my space again. The nerve. The nerve. The nerve. I would never. Excuse me. Someone sent, hold on one second. Miss Bella over on, not Miss Bella, sorry. Where is it? Dylan over on YouTube sent a super chat and had the question as far as why I don't bring Sasha Riley up, right? And I said it's because things haven't been verified and I don't like to speak in public on things that I don't know and I can't verify, right? And even more so, I was on a live the other night and there's something that I want to tell people about, but I have not told anyone about yet because I haven't properly vetted it, right? And until I can actually prove the things that I'm saying, I don't say the things in public. When I tell you the nerve of a mediocre white man, ladies, specifically ladies, not even the men. Like with men, it doesn't matter if you're white or not, you kind of have some of this. But ladies, women, femme presenting, if you all had 1/4 of the confidence of a mediocre white man, you'd run the whole world. If you had 1/4 of the confidence that he just displayed, you would run the fucking world. The fucking world. Holy shit. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Phil, the good Phil, who sent a $2 donation saying, since they abolished the rule where VPs was the loser in the presidential election, every VP has been chosen because of the traits that they held. They held the potential to win the presidency. Exactly, Phil. Exactly. W's in the chat for Gucci for the $5 donation saying Popcorn is literally proving any white man should never hold power again. He fucking came in and ran into the wall, ran right into the wall. W's in the chat for 1B Carry for the $10 super chat to say white man created the system, white men utilized the system, and now white men is pissed that we want to subvert the system. I also sent an email about Ahmad and how we went through. Oh, yeah. We got it. You're good to go. Thank you, 1B Carry, for the actual super chat, and we got the email. W's in the chat for Feisty for the $10 super chat to say thank you. Thank you, Feisty. And holy fuck. W's in the chat for Jessica, who sent a $50 donation saying, Santana, please have Popcorn search or show him the visual of the wheel of power and privilege. I don't think he's capable of understanding intelligent conversation and likely can't even read. Yeah, listen, Popcorn, it's not only that Popcorn is someone that is steeped in his own thought process of whatever the fuck that is, but he has no desire to actually be better. So there's that. W's in chat for all the donors, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's get up to 150,000 likes. Also, hit that follow button. This is the backup account. Make sure you follow the backup account. Hit that follow button, but follow the main account as well. We're almost at 79,000 followers and we're driving to 80,000. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I just had a question. Are you the one that tried to dox that guy for calling you a nigger?
No, I've never tried to dox anyone for
Nigger,
calling me a
nigger, 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 nigger,
I
nigger, nigger,
know.
nigger, nigger.
Hey. I know.
Nigger, nigger,
But
nigger.
listen, you saying nigger, nigger, it does nothing.
Nigger, nigger.
It does. I know, Karen. I know. Listen, I know. You're crashing out because you're letting your white fragility show. Listen, chat, and don't worry, chat, don't report. We don't worry about reporting. I can take care of it. But this is what we're dealing with. I know often I talk about white men, but I think there is a lack of talking about the white women that actually uphold this, right? These specific white women that raise these crash out white men, right? It's not every single one of them, but people like this, she's a coward, right? Because not only is she hiding behind a fake profile picture and a fake name, but she has no substance. The only thing that she could do was come up here and say nigger, and no one's scared of that. You know, I'm a 38-year-old black man from the South. You know how many times I've been called that? You think you did something special? Listen, your clansesters would be embarrassed of you. They would be embarrassed of you, the fact that you haven't been able to progress anything.
You're a loser.
I know. Listen,
you're an ugly.
You're a whole crash out. And you know what? You're just mad. You're mad because everyone else is leaving you behind. Even other white women are leaving you behind. You're pathetic. You're literally pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your mother would be ashamed of you. This is something that you need to take the therapy. You need to take the therapy and you need to unpack. Your mother would be ashamed of you. Your mother would be ashamed of you, and there's no telling what type of hell your father put you through. So you need therapy to unpack that. I know. And you still haven't said anything of any type of substance. The mediocre, like you just spamming nigger doesn't. I know. Yeah, there you go. Again, the one thing that I want to make sure that I'm perfectly clear about is that doesn't bother me. You spamming the N-word does nothing. It literally does nothing. Literally does nothing. I did have a question. I was hoping that she was going to actually be able to hang out and answer the question. I wanted to know what size her sheets were. I wanted to know what size her sheets were. I don't know. Guess we'll never know. Anyway, one other quick thing before we hopefully get a debate up here and someone who's not going to crash out and slur, but whatever. To any of the people that are going to come up and decide that they want to do the racism, right? Just an FYI. If the worst thing that ever happened to Black people was you calling us the N-word, if that was the only form of racism we experienced, we would take it. Every day, all day, twice on Sunday, we would take that shit. You think that just because words hurt your feelings, that you can use words to hurt ours. Now listen, your ancestors did so much worse, but you all are too weak and too cowards, too cowardly. And guess what? We're not our ancestors. So try Jesus and don't try me, because I got hands. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Hey, thank you, Kira. I tell you what, like, it's funny. This is definitely them coming up here making a plea that, you know, racism is over, right? This is definitely them showing like racism isn't a thing anymore. Like this is absolutely them doing that. She made a decision to come up and like slur and crashed out before she even washed her face or brushed her teeth.
Hello.
Hi, procrastinator. Hello. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
In a way, can I further try to comply?
Wait, say it one more time?
I guess, like, I don't particularly disagree that it's time for a woman. I don't really care. It can be a woman, it can be a man. But I think the problem with American politics is that there
Are
are
you
very...
Are you in the U.S.?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's something wrong?
I felt like I didn't necessarily have to give this disclaimer before, but I guess I have to give this disclaimer again now. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background and you're in the U.S. All of it. Please and thank you. Hi, Strawberry. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Strawberry, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay. I'm going to drop you. Man. Mm-hmm. Oh, that person didn't lead. Oh, not lead, load. W's in the chat for Alana, who sent a $3 donation saying, you handled that like a boss. Listen, I'm dead ass serious when I tell you, like, I've been through way more than that. If that's the best that you got, you're fucking losing. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for tip for the $5 donation saying, hat shit was embarrassed. Imagine being white and thinking you can argue racism while not knowing what race is or what reading is. Yeah. I don't understand how people have opinions on things that they don't know about. Yeah, it's because they're ultra crepidarians. That's why tip. They're ultra crepidarians. W's in the chat for tip for the $5 donation saying, that's right. Try Jesus. Don't try me because I fight. Laugh my ass. Listen, you know what the most interesting thing about the internet, about us all looking at each other in these screens and us, you know, can connect and, you know, people connect all around the world through screens. And the most interesting thing about that and the drawback is people have become too comfortable not counting their teeth. Because the shit that they do and say on the internet, the reason why they do and say it on the internet and they hide behind fake profile pictures and fake names is because if they did it in public, they'd be counting their teeth. That's the truth. Everybody wants to be an internet tough guy. It's fucking weird. W's in the chat for Heather for the $1 donation stand. As a white woman, I can say they're worse than white men. They're licking the boot and proud of it. Know those of us with brains adore you. Thank you so much, Heather, for the $1 donation. I adore you as well. W's in the chat for Tony for the $1 donation stand. People are so uneducated. My mom taught me from a young age how I have privilege as a white cis male, and taught me caring about a person and emotional intelligence. Hearing these white men come up and be so uneducated is crazy and just sad. Yeah, but they're so confident and fucking wild. W's in the chat for Meekin, who sent the $5 super chat to say, Santana, you're my favorite online debater, educator, and teacher. I wouldn't say all that. That's way too much credit. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you do. You're patient like a saint. I've had practice. I got 2 boys, and yeah. But I appreciate you, Megan. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. What we are looking for is, oh, guys, look at the other mediocre white man. Hey, I'm gonna just mute you. I'm not gonna invite you up. You get to watch the live from outside of the club. Guys, Liam has a brother who's just as annoying as him, and his brother is butthurt that Liam doesn't get access to the platform, and he doesn't either. All they do is whine and cry. Yes, Moose, Mayo, Amos, all the fucking weird names you can think of. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. I think that it is absolutely time for a woman leader. And the reason why I say that is because World War III loading, even though, you know what yesterday showed me? You know what yesterday absolutely showed me? That Donald Trump doesn't have the testicular fortitude for war. Donald Trump talks a big game. Donald Trump absolutely postures like he is the baddest person around. But as soon as he actually, what did Cat Williams say? Everybody thinks that a Chrysler 300 is a Phantom until a Phantom pulls up. Donald Trump thinks he's a tough guy until he steps in a room with real tough guys. Until he realized that he is outmatched, outclassed by other world leaders. And he folds like a cheap paper plate. He shrivels in their presence. And that's exactly what happened. He showed up and postured and pretended that, oh, we're going to take Greenland and there's nothing else that anyone can do about it. And then when he got face to face with those other world leaders after using his Twitter fingers, right? After using the Twitter fingers, he showed up, oh, you know, it would be nice if we could have Greenland. No, Donald. But like, I already told him we were going to have Greenland. No, Donald. Okay, can we just at least say like we're working on a deal? Can I tell him, you know, we have a pending deal? No, Donald. Okay, well, I'll just say that, you know, there's a possibility for a deal in the future. God damn it, Donald. All right, whatever. Just tell him that, you know, there may be something in the future. And that's all that he got. He went to Truth Social. And put out this entire long post about potential frameworks and deals. And then even when in front of reporters yesterday, he pulled out Old Faithful. Well, we got concepts of a deal. Fucking concepts of a deal. Who has concepts of a deal? You're the only one crying wolf. Yeah, be red. I'm gonna mute you, right? And I'm gonna send you a request. Come up here and tell me about it because you're crying from the comments, and I don't care about you crying from the comments. I don't care about that. I don't. Your voice is insignificant from the comments. And if you can't do it on the panel, then you don't get to do it at all. My chat is not your safe space. But yeah, Donald Trump folded like a cheap paper plate. And so again, the point that I'm making is this is not off the table, but we see what happens when he is faced with real leadership. But just like MAGA, guys, just like MAGA, hear me loud and clear. As soon as Trump is back in his safe space, as soon as he's back in the US and at Mar-a-Lago, he's going to start saying that same shit again. Write it down. As soon as he is back in his safe space, he's going to say the same thing again. Right? Because that's what he does. Jonathan said, get off Trump's decent turn. Trump, good buddy money. Yeah, sure. Hey, Jonathan, guess what? I'm going to mute you, right? And I'm going to send you a request. Let's see how much of a coward you are. You're a chicken shit coward and you won't accept that request. Show the entire chat how weak you are. Show them. Show them. Good boy. Good boy. You guys are cowards. Weak. Jen, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
Definitely not a Trump supporter.
But you disagree with something on the background?
As far as the stuff on the back, yeah, as far as the timing, because I think my comment yesterday was that I agree that women should be in charge, that they should lead, but the timing as of right now is off. And the reason why I'm on that path
Well, we talked
is
about this
because
yesterday, right?
I jumped in the queue because you told me to come on up and present my case.
Right, and you
I
talked
jumped in
about
the queue and
Jasmine
I was in the
Crockett,
queue
right?
for about an hour. No, I never got on the live. I was in the queue
okay,
for
okay.
about an hour and never got accepted in, so
okay.
I had to go to work.
Okay, I apologize. I'm complaining. All right, perfect. So you said that you don't disagree with the premise overall, but you don't think the time is now.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
That was so. The reason why I'm on that fence is because I remember what the rhetoric was that the Republicans, mainly the white male Republicans, were using during Hillary's campaign, which was their biggest talking point was, hey, women are too emotional. If one gets into office, it's going to be World War III, just because they had a bad day during their period, right? That was their rhetoric talking point. Ultimately, that rhetoric freaking won without a doubt, and that still messes with me to this day, right? Then we got the second chance, which was Harris. Personally, I think the Dems shot themselves in the foot with that. I knew for a fact when Biden got elected that he did not have what it takes to go for a second term. And what we needed was somebody that can take on Trump for the second term. The Democrats should have got Harris.
To be fair, Joe Biden said that he was going to be a transitional president. Like that's Joe Biden broke the contract with Democratic voters because he literally told us that he was going to be a one-term president. That was the assumption.
And that's fine. What I was getting to is that they waited too long to get Harris out there. 6 months for a campaign to go against Donald Trump is not enough time. That had nothing to do
with Kamala Harris.
I know it had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. I said the Democratic Party shot themselves in the foot.
It wasn't the Democratic Party. It was Joe Biden. Joe Biden was the incumbent president, and he had the right to refusal. And even though he told us that he was going to be a one-term president, he broke that contract and changed his mind and said he had unfinished business to complete. And yes, there was pressure coming from the Democratic Party saying like, hey, we need you to step away, even prior to the actual debate. But Joe Biden said no. He stood firm on no, I want a second term. So like the premise that someone should have been able to force him out earlier, like everyone was asserting pressure on him because he broke the contract that he signed with the people that voted for him, like myself. I voted for him on the premise that he would be a transitional president, not that he was going to try to run the country for 8 years. He lied to everyone that voted for him on those bases. So you can't say that that's on the Democratic Party or on Kamala Harris. It was that lands at the feet of Joseph Robinette Biden and Biden alone.
Okay, well, I don't know any information about that, so I'm not going to speak on that part. I'll concede and say that you got it on that, but I'm going to have to do research on that, right? Now, as far as right now, I don't trust what the Republicans have done. I think what they have done is set time bombs and time traps, things that they know are going to happen. So basically setting the stage, so to speak, for the play. And whoever gets in next on the play is going to catch the first chance that we have at having a woman president to be completely destroyed and sabotaged. But I think that World War III is inevitable. Like World War III loading at the top of your prompt, I do think that is inevitable right now based on across in the international waters as far as the Middle East going down again, Venezuela now going down in South America. And I just have a freaking America, the Middle East having a culture that does not support women leadership.
Let me stop you for a second, because you're going like way too stick to with your premises. Your premise is that putting a woman president in power at this time is setting them up for failure, right? Putting a woman in office is setting them up for failure, regardless of when that is, right? It's gonna be setting them up for failure because it's not in a place where it's successful. This country is not in a place where it's actually doing anything positive, right? And the premise that we should hold off is something that's going to continue to be persistent. It's never going to, it's kind of like, do you have kids?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard the saying where people say, like, oh, I'm gonna wait until things are perfect to have kids, and it's never perfect?
I've heard the premises, but I've also seen what they would call the
optimal
exemplary cases.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say that there are optimal times, but there will never be a perfect time, right? And the point that I'm trying to get across is that even while we may say like, this is not going to be good, this may be something that may be harmful or blah, 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 blah. The point is there will never be a perfect time. And the time is now, regardless, right? It's not about being perfect. And also it's not about being fearful, because this is for people who are on the left that are fearful of the idea of like women being in power and not being able to win or being set up for failure. That's internalized misogyny, right? That's literally, that's not necessarily. For women, it's internalized misogyny. For men, it is. And you might not think that you're engaging in it, but the premise that for some reason we have to protect this woman, no, it's literally misogyny. We do not need to protect this woman because women can lead and women can stand on their own 2 feet. And to be honest, I've always said this: I never want to be the first person through the door. I want to be the second. I would have never wanted to be Barack Obama, the first Black president. I would love to be the second Black president, because the first person through the door is going to take all the shots. And no matter who that woman is, and no matter when she comes to the door,
I'm on.
No matter who that woman is, no matter when that woman comes through the door, she's going to take those shots regardless. It doesn't matter how good things are. It doesn't matter how bad things are. She's the first one through the door, and she's the one that's going to take the shots.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because it's the shots that are going to have to be taken. Right now, you said with Obama, right? You didn't want it. Nobody wants to be the first one. Why? Because of all the shots that they have to take. I'm thinking long term. I don't want to have our first female president be the only female president.
Hey,
that
woman, not
female is still the same to me.
It's not.
Man. So
it's not, Jen. Do you know why it's not the same? Female what? Female octopus, female platypus, female turtle, female what?
You know, I'm not sitting here talking about no animals, man. Okay. You know, we're talking about human beings.
Okay, so then that's a woman.
Now you're picking and choosing off of semantics,
I'm trying to help you in real time. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm trying to help you in real time. I'm telling you flat out, point blank, period. You're engaging in misogyny. And this is from another man who engages in misogyny and who has to check his misogyny on a daily basis. You are engaging in misogyny. You sitting here saying female and woman is the same thing. No, it's not. You're just misogynist, because calling a woman a quote unquote female is dehumanizing. And you sitting here thinking that we have to protect this woman is misogyny, because you don't think that we have to protect the men. I'm telling you, the reason why you're sitting here thinking that it's not the time is the same reason that you're going to always think it's not the time.
Negative, because you're not even fully understanding what I'm saying, because you want to keep cutting me off. What I'm saying is I don't want the first one to be the last one. Pick and choose the shots that we have to take. This isn't something that this country freaking wants. So we have to be more precise, more methodical. Can't just throw something up there and say
the first one is going to be the last one, regardless of whatever happens. You see you see where our country went.
So I'm wrong for wanting the first one to not be the last one.
So you see where the country went after Barack Obama, right?
Yeah, we haven't had another Black candidate yet.
Exactly. It was literally a back.
And I don't want to see that happen.
The point that I'm trying to make is you can't be so scared and paralyzed by progression that you sit here and say, you know what, I'm worried that it's going to cause a negative impact, and I don't want to do it. No, you kick the fucking door in and you do it anyway.
Just to make history.
No, it's not about
if it gets a chance to happen again.
It's not about making history. It's literally about shattering that glass ceiling so it's open for the future. It may take longer. It may take less time. We don't know. But the one thing that we do know is that once you actually cross through that precipice, you can't go back. There's no way that you can just go back. And so even at this point, while yes, after Barack Obama, we had Donald Trump, white man, orange man, whatever. Joe Biden, white man, Donald Trump again. At some point, we've already crossed that threshold, and we're going to have another black president. And hell, we're going to have an Asian president at some point, or an indigenous president at some point. Once you pass that threshold, then it opens up the door for future opportunities. And you can't sit here and say, I'm too scared that doing this is going to cause that thing to never happen again. Yes, we understand that as of right now, white people are the majority within the country. Yes. And specifically, the only reason that Donald Trump is in office, well, multiple reasons, but the main reason is because white men felt threatened by the black woman and threatened their seat at the top of the patriarchal system. And so they showed up and voted for Donald Trump at a higher clip than any other president in United States history. White men said that Donald Trump was the greatest president in United States history based off of the way they voted. And that's because they're afraid of losing their spot at the top of the patriarchal system. But Jen, there's more of us than there are of them. And I'm not talking about, more minorities than it is white people. No. More people that actually want the country to deal with progression versus people who want to hold on to the patriarchal system. The problem is people are scared to fight because white supremacy and the patriarchal system has made people scared to fight back. And we have to fight. They want us scared. The reason why this Trump administration is doing what they're doing, the reason why they're sending ICE out into the neighborhood, into people's neighborhood, the reason why Donald Trump is saber rattling all across the globe is because they use fear for control. And as long as you're scared, they're going to always control you. We have to stand up. The time is now. Fuck that.
Sorry, I was going past the construction site.
You're all good. I appreciate you for muting.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying on some levels. I do. But like I said, my whole thing is I don't want the first one to be the last one, and I want it to continue. I do agree with what you're saying as far as ceilings being broken. Because for one, I look at things like Jackie Robinson when he was the first Black to play baseball, and then what we have now, and I look at all of the other accomplishments that we have as far as the Tuskegee Airmen, things of that nature. These were all glass ceiling breakers. I understand that aspect. But I also understand the reality of America that we live in. Like you said, the backlash.
I get you. And I'm not even saying that what you're saying isn't unfounded, because I'm not even going to hold you. I literally thought the same way that you're thinking right now after Kamala Harris lost. I had resided to the thought that it's got to be a white man, right? That's where I was. But then I sat back and I looked at everything throughout. This is the thing that concerns me, Jen. And this is why I say the time is now and we have to do it. Do you know how long, what's the average lifespan of a society, like a nation, whatever?
It's usually about 250, 300.
What year are we entering this year?
251, I believe.
250 this year.
Okay, so I was
but not most people.
Trust me, I've been following that. Right? I've been following that. Right. Civilizations collapse from within. But within also, that 250, 300 year range.
But also, did you know that the United States is currently following the exact same path of the last 5 global superpowers that have collapsed?
Big facts.
The last
Big
5 where
facts.
their actual currency was the centralized currency for the world, we're following the
Big
same path.
facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
And so my point with that, Jen, is like saying that we're heading off a cliff. And unless we do something dramatic to actually pull the wheel all the way to the left, we're going off that cliff. Like we have to do something. And like this is the thing that makes the most sense to me. And so this is why I'm like advocating for it. And I get where you're coming from. I'm not even saying that you're wrong in the sense of your thinking. I'm just saying like we gotta figure out a way to get people to stop thinking that way and get enough support and people behind it, because there's enough people like you and I that know what's happening, that we have to break the fear that people have.
I can agree with you on that. Much love, much love.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, again, I appreciate you, and I think that a lot of people are gonna you're absolutely right. They're gonna lean into this the smear campaign. They're gonna lean into misogyny. If it's a Black woman, they're gonna lean into misogynoir. They're gonna attack whoever the person is, and they're gonna go on personal attacks because they know for a fact that like Democratic policies are more beneficial than Republican policies, right? I mean, you can look at the history of
Shoot, out of what they said, out of our last 15 recessions, I think they said like 11 or 12 of them were conducted under Republican fiscal policies.
Yeah. Like you could talk about the growth of the economy. You can talk about commonly point to Democratic rule being better than Republican rule. But then they continue to use like these fear tactics. That's coming from the southern border. Oh, we got to get those transgender people because they're trying to get into the bathrooms. Oh, they always have a boogeyman. Like that's the one thing. The problem that I have with the left is the left can be so disjointed in multiple ways. And we don't figure this out right now. That's why I'm having this conversation today, right now. If we don't figure this out right now and today, like we're going to lose everything regardless. Jen, I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate you, like, seriously, I appreciate you coming up and saying what you said, because I think it's super important that we have this conversation for like-minded people. And and then that way, when we're moving forward, then we can present a unified front. This isn't something that we should be talking about in 2027. Like we got to figure this out.
Me come up and speak, and I just want to let the record know, like, I do apologize. Like the female and women thing, hey, I do apologize about that. Still learning.
No,
but
listen.
to be a misogynistic, that's something that I'm not. The Black woman that raised me on her own, and the things and the accomplishments that she has done in life in the midst of a white patriarchy that didn't want her in the FAA, didn't want her running the ARPA, helping with the ARPANET when it was getting started. Like, I got too much love for women. That's why I want the best for them. And I don't want them to have that negative, hey, the first woman president that we had, look at all the BS that happened. Like, I don't want that.
Let me say this, because I think, again, this is super important that I say this, and I think I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you this. The reason why I called you a misogynist is the reason why I say that I'm a misogynist, right? And I have 4 older sisters. I was raised, by my mother. I have a wife, all this other stuff, and I used to think that like, oh, I'm not misogynist, da 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 da. But the thing that we can never forget is that we have access to male privilege, right? Men, we have access to certain privilege that women don't have. Yesterday on my live, I had a conversation around angel shots. Do you know what an angel shot is?
No, I haven't heard of that.
I didn't hear of it either
that's
until
a new
like
one.
2 days ago. Angel shots, that's literally a specific code that has been made up to help women when they're out and about, like in bars or whatever.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I've heard of some things of like that. I've heard of things like the painted nails.
Yeah, that as well.
Nail polish that will change colors.
But like, think about it. Like we don't have to do those types of things. We don't have to think about those types of things. And so if we aren't on an everyday basis checking our misogyny, then we risk hurting those people that we say that we care about. Because whether it's intentional or unintentional, it's still going to happen. And intent only matters to the person that's engaging in the thing, not the person that it hurts. So we just have to continue to try to check our misogyny and try to be better every day. I'm not my best every day, but I try to be better every single day. And like, you seem like someone who's open, receptive, and I only want the best for you. And that's just that, like, we have to call each other out on our bullshit. And that's all.
Paid with good intentions.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, listen, I appreciate you coming up.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me up, man. Keep doing the good thing.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too.
I got a little bit hot and heavy for a second, guys. I apologize. W's in the chat for Stacy for the $5 donation said had to turn down my radio so the poor lady at the toll plaza at the Skyway didn't have to hear the mess from that white banshee. Holy shit. As a white woman, I can't stand those people. God damn. Let me tell you, the one thing, no one hates racist white women or racist white men like white men and white women that are actively trying to be non-racist. They hate them so much. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Cameron for the $5 donation saying, Santana, I got mad respect for you, friend. You are so well adverse. Much love to you, brother. Keep it funky. You know how we do. We locked in, twin. I appreciate you. W's in chat for Brenda. Hey, Brenda, for the $3 donation saying, the DNC is a private organization, so they're going to pick a woman who is on the same warmongering level as men to continuously overfund the military industrial complex and its contractors. The system has to be overhauled first. Have a great day, Santana. Yeah, listen, Brenda, I'm not going to say I disagree with you. I'm just going to say as long as we got to play the game, then fuck it. Let's force them to, try to at least adhere by some of our rules. You're not wrong. I get what you're saying, but like, fuck it. We got to do something. W's in chat for Jessica for the $5 donation saying, I think Jen would benefit from researching benevolent sexism. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Fucking W's in the chat for Jessica. You're right. Benevolent sexism. That's what it is. W's in the chat for Jasmine for the $2 donation saying, I used to say female because it is the lowest of the low. Holy shit. Yeah. I'm telling you. And I think a lot of people don't understand the difference. And that's why whenever someone says like female, I always say female what? And I start naming whatever animals I can think of at that time. Because like you have to kind of drill it home. And I think that's super important. W's in the chat for Harry for the $2 donation saying, ever notice people that call women females don't call men males? Obviously misogyny, but they don't see it. Yeah, but it's internalized, right? I mean, we're so embedded in that system that like we do shit like that and we don't even know it. That's why it's inherent biases. I mean, it's inherent misogyny. Like even if you don't think you're a misogynist, you are. Like, and people have a hard time with that. People struggle with that. People struggle when someone says you're inherently racist or you're inherently misogynistic or you're inherently ableist. People struggle with someone telling them like, oh, you have these type of biases. And they struggle with that because they think that people saying like you have these biases mean that you're a bad person. No one's saying you're a bad person. No one's saying you're evil. We're just saying like acknowledge how things are and then work to be better. Because if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't see the struggles of others, then you'll never be able to actually help people in a genuine way. That's it. W's in the chat for Jeffrey for the $5 donation saying, guess is clearly thoughtful, but there's always a reason not to. That's literally conservatism, which brings me to this. Empires fall to the stagnation and inability to adapt. Conservatism is literally this. Conservatives may get you 250, but won't get you 5 years. 500 years. Exactly. Couldn't agree more. W's in the chat for Jojo, who sent a $5 super chat to say, Joan of Arc, Queen Elizabeth the first and second, Angela Merkel, Empress Wu Zetian, Hepatis, I think this was. Yeah, remarkable women leaders, and the list keeps going. They fix problems. We need women in office. Yes, I completely agree. And W's in chat for JoJo for another $5 donations. And I think it's Nefertari. Friend, you're fucking me up with all these names. Cleopatra, Golden Mirror, Katrina I don't know who Katrina the Great is. I don't know. Katrina? I'm fucking up on names. I'm sorry. You know, I'm like horrible with names. So many. But JoJo, you're right. Like so many women leaders. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names. Nefertiti? I don't know who Nefertiti is. Nefertiti? I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to look that up. W's in the chat for Andrew for the $3 donation, just sent some heart and love. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation, saying, morning friend, I appreciate the conversation just heard. As progressive as I may be, I need to kick it in the butt and make a change now. Also now pumped enough to throw my pads and helmet on one more time and run out my position at RE. Good damn speech. W's in the chat for you. Holy shit. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree. Oh, the Egyptian queen. Yeah. Only request up if you disagree with something on the background or you're a Trump supporter. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter. Because
you disagree with something on the background?
No, my mom is, and it's very, we disagree because it's hard for me because as an immigrant and now a citizen, and my mom also, we fight a lot. So
is your mom there? Do you want me to talk to her?
No, we just disagreed and I had to hang up. And it's funny because I just hang up with her and I got into a live. I'm kind of still shaking and I got into your live. And that's why I asked to talk to you because I agree with you completely. And I was just explaining to her exactly what you're trying to talk to you.
Okay. Well, let me say this because I am looking for debates, but I think I would be remiss if I didn't take time to, at least have this quick conversation with you.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest battles that we're going to have is those battles with our family members, especially when people get locked into like certain things that they feel so confident in. I was literally having this conversation with one of my sisters yesterday, and we were talking about the ability for family members to kind of bring things to each other in an unfiltered way, right? Where you don't have to sugarcoat things and you can just say the things because it's not something that is said from like any type of malice or evil intention, but you genuinely have what's at best of heart for your family members, and you want to make sure that they are doing, what's right. And so I think that people that have like family members that are Trump supporters or MAGA or whatever, I think you guys are way more important than anything that I could ever say because you have that personal connection that I could never really have. They're going to listen to you before they listen to me. So while I'll say that it may be frustrating having that conversation with your mother right now, and it may be frustrating, trying to fight that uphill battle, the one thing that I'll say is don't give up because at some point it's gonna, like, you're gonna break through that. At some point, she's gonna listen, she's gonna hear what you're saying, and it's not gonna be a political thing. It's gonna be, this is my daughter speaking to me, and then it's gonna open up her eyes. So don't give up yet. It may be frustrating, but don't give up.
I tried to explain to her. I was like, Mom, put me in a position, even though we are here since I was 10 and now we are citizen, we're still an immigrant.
Yeah.
But what if ICE stop me and take me?
Yeah.
And she joked about, she goes, oh, we're going to have a free vacation. And then I sue the government. And then we have.
What's funny? I've heard people saying that, right?
I was so enraged and I'm still shaking. And I was like, look, if you could see me right now, I mean, you probably see my voice. You can hear my voice. I'm still shaking by that.
Well, and I'll say this. I mean, for people that think that like, because I've heard other people say like, I've heard other people say like, oh, well, if they do this and they get to sue the government and they'll have money, like the emotional trauma that you will be put through with being, detained and going through that, like that's life changing. And no amount of money will just fix that. And while, yes, people should absolutely be compensated, like it's not something that'll fix it. The one thing I'm gonna tell you, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down because I am looking for some debates, but the one thing that I think you should drill home, and I try to tell people this, I tell Black people this all the time that are like conservatives that still for some reason support what Donald Trump is doing because it's not affecting Black people to the ways that they think it is. I tell them this all the time. You're not special, you're just next. It's not about the fact that, oh, it's never going to happen to you, or, oh, they're just doing it to other people. It's all about the fact that like they just haven't gotten to you yet, and just hold tight, right? Give me 1 second. I want to read something to you really quick. 1 second here. I want to read this to you, and this is something that I make sure that I keep in mind at all time, and I think it's like super important. It's a poem. It's called "Then They Came For." Have you ever heard that one?
No, and I read a lot, so I'm gonna.
Okay. All right.
Clip it.
First they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not Jew. And then they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not communist. And then they came from the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. The point of that is, if we sit back and allow injustices or harms to happen to other people just because it's not us, it literally gives a pathway for other people to continue to be harmed, and then for one day for you to be harmed. That's why I tell people all the time, you're not special, you're just next. Anyway, listen, I appreciate you coming up. Hopefully everything will be better with your mom.
Yeah.
But
Thank you. Just continue preaching. You're very smart. I see your lives all the time. And, just people who believes in MAGA, just try to remember people. I used to, know American history when I used to be back in Brazil. Mm-hmm. And when I came to America, I had people here in America have no idea of American history, and it's sad.
No, they don't. They absolutely don't. But listen, I'm going to drop you down because I am looking for some debates, but I appreciate you coming up, and you take care of yourself, okay?
It's time for a woman to be in power because it's a shame.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Sorry I had to cut you off. I don't want to get too far away from it. And then I also don't want, like, I try to make sure that I'm very clear about this as far as like boundaries, because I think it's super important that we engage in the premises as far as what we're looking for. I know there's a need to like cut away from it at time and understand the human element. But I appreciate you coming up, but I want to make sure that, we respect the boundaries of not only myself in this live, but all creators in all lives. It's super, super important. But that being said, that was in the chat for her. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you are not a Trump supporter or you agree with the background, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live. Make sure you hit that follow button, follow the backup account, follow the main account. And last but not least, if you like to support the live, you can do so at Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, just like Misty Gillaham, who sent a $1.99 super chat, say, you can't have a last if you don't have a first. Fucking right. W's in the chat for Misty. You can send a super chat like Misty, or you can send a donation like Lavender, who sent a $1 donation saying, just because you're amazing. I'm okay, Lavender. I'm okay. I'm a little bit above average, but you're fucking awesome. Thank you so much for the $1. And W's in the chat for Gregory for the $5 donation saying, Santana, as we deconstruct our racism, sexism, and bigoted belief system, we must accompany it with a deconstruction of our language. Thank you, Santana, for your your commitment to humanity and equality. I agree. Couldn't agree more. W's in chat for Gregory. Again, guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you're not a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Harrison,
Yo.
are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter.
Are you a
the
troll?
World War III loading? If Trump does not
hold
take
on. Harrison, are you a troll?
no.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. It sounds like you're giving me trolly vibes, but I'm not gonna, just throw that on you for sure. You kind of, but I'll give you a bit of a chance. Which point specifically do you want to engage in?
No, you might think that because about 2 days ago I was on the live stream with Park the Car Parker and Dean Withering Away.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, like, usually it sounds like you're trying to alter your voice in a way. And usually when people do that, they're specifically trolling. But again, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Someone said that earlier. I just have a deep voice. What's wrong with that?
No, it's fine. That's why I said I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. What point do you actually disagree with?
The World War III.
Okay. All right. Tell me why.
So if Donald Trump does not take Greenland, then I will. Taking matters into my own hands.
Okay, so I was right. Can I ask you a genuine question? If I'm sitting up here and I'm like genuinely trying to engage with people, I mean, I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I'm literally just trying to actually engage with people because I think this is something that's really needed. What's the point of you coming up here trolling?
Well, I really want to be able to go to Greenland without a passport. So
I'm not even talking about the troll. I don't need you to stick to the troll anymore. I need you to engage with me like an actual person, like a human to human right now, right here. I don't care about the internet. I'm talking to you specifically. Like, what's the point of you trolling? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And this is a genuine question. This is not me being smart or anything. Like, I genuinely want to know, what do you hope for?
I mean, if you consider this a troll, like, I mean, this wouldn't. I genuinely do want to see the U.S. own Greenland. What's
I
what's
can
trolling?
believe that, but like you saying that you're going to take it into your own hands and take it yourself. Come on now. Like, if you believe that the U.S. should own Greenland, that's fine. We can talk about that. But again, the actual like trolling nature and premise of what you're saying, like, what are you looking to accomplish with that? Do you want to actually engage in a debate, or did you want to troll? Because like, I'll talk to you if you really want to talk. That's fine. But if you want to troll, I'm gonna have to just move on.
Yeah, sure. I will engage. It was a figure of speech. I'm going to take it thing, but
okay. I will grant that to you. Then I'll write it off as a figure of speech. All right. Tell me more about this. As far as why do you think that it's a necessity for the United States to control Greenland?
I wouldn't say it's a necessity, but I would say that it would be way more useful of a landmass if it were under the United States.
How so?
Because Denmark is incredibly weak as a country. I think it's a prospering country, but they don't have the resources and capability of the United States being able to utilize the location and the resources there. In fact, there's actually most of the land in Greenland is like a national park sort of thing, so you can't even get the resources because of the Danish rule there. So it's just sitting there.
Yeah. So a couple of things with that, right? Like the premise that, and I'm assuming that you mean when you say like weak, you're speaking like militarily, because you said they are kind of prospering. So like you mean as far as the overall military strength of Denmark, is that accurate?
No, prospering in the sense of...
No, I mean the weakness. You mean the weakness is the military capabilities?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. And then you also mentioned that like most of the land is like wildlife, and so they're not mining the materials that are on that land.
Yeah. So I think if it were to get acquired by the U.S., I think Trump would get rid of that national park sort of setup because there's like not just, I don't know what the oil reserve situation is there, but I know there's a lot of like gold. There's a documentary I was watching. These people were gold miners, and they said, we found a trail leading up to this like 60% of the country, but we can't mine there because it's restricted for national park sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I got a question for you, right? Do you think that every other country around the world values capitalism the way that the United States does?
No, but I'll just say no.
Okay. So while I agree with you, right? I mean, they are sitting on like rare earth minerals that could be used to actually, make people wealthier, to enhance like weaponry and all this other stuff. I think the understanding as far as like what's important to them as a society and what values they have, they don't want to be able to drill in those national park areas. They don't want to be able to destroy their land or their environment. And that's the premise that like a lot, especially European countries, a lot of other countries take, where they're not so invested in capitalism that they're willing to destroy the environment in order to gain access to immediate satisfaction. The amount of drilling that would occur and digging into like the Arctic sheets that are in that area would cause sea levels to rise. If we were to try to extract those minerals and things in Greenland, it would literally cause damage to the environment. And not everyone is willing to damage the environment in order to make a dollar. And see, there's the difference between the Danish people that are in Greenland, or the indigenous people that are in Greenland, and like how we view things here within the United States. So I think the premise of like projecting our own like values or whatever on other societies in other countries, that's dangerous. Like they don't want that.
I do think that the means of getting those resources can be very damaging, and I care about the environment. I think the garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean is a terrible thing. But as it is right now, you can't even set foot there. And like this documentary I watched, these people were clean. I mean, they don't get a lot, but if you could let people in and not destructive ways like fracking, you could at least get the resource. I know it would be like bad if you set up these huge rigs and stuff, but just I just think maybe some sort of way where you can let independent miners get it, I don't know, back like they did in the prospecting days or something.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you're wrong as far as your thought process, but like the problem that I have with that is capitalism. It's literally capitalism in the sense that with certain people that drive profit over people, they're gonna always look to maximize profit in every single way. And so like one reason why business people love Donald Trump is because of the ability to deregulate. Like he continues to deregulate things that makes it so much easier for businesses to maximize profits, to cut corners, and to harm people, right? But the actual thought process that like if we got in, it would be, for lack of better words, clean. They wouldn't be the case, right? I mean, capitalism exists because it's driven to feed itself. And so once you get in there and they start to actually mine those materials or those minerals, they're going to continue to expand it because capitalism is all consuming. It's going to be more and more and more and more. And so we are going to get to the point where it's not just like a clean, easy way. It's going to be destructive because it's going to be a need to continue to get more. And that's the problem.
Well, yeah, that does become a problem. But what you were saying is an appeal of mine towards voting for Trump is that I graduated college in business, and I really want to start my own business. And with the lifting restrictions, like you said,
wait. What size business?
What do you mean?
So the reason why I say that is because if you're looking to start a small size business or even like a mid-sized business, the Trump administration is not the administration for you, right? They're not doing things that make it easy for small or medium-sized businesses. They are doing things to make it easier for large business, corporations, things like that. Did you know that under the Biden-Harris administration, there were more entrepreneurial businesses started than any other time in United States history?
Well, that could be, for a variety of things. But what I like,
it's because the Biden and Harris administration actually prioritized small businesses. They gave additional loan protections and allowed people to be able to access loans to start their businesses, and gave tax breaks for new businesses at a higher clip than any other administration in the past. And even Kamala Harris wanted to follow that up and do more of that. And Donald Trump has stripped away certain protections when it comes to like small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and then also remove the the different things that allow corporations to come in and take over those small business. I'll give you a great example of this. Do you know about the farmers under Donald Trump first administration as far as what happened with bankruptcy?
First administration, probably not. I didn't research on that.
Oh, good. So Donald Trump started the trade war with China in his first administration, which overwhelmingly negatively impacted farmers, right? But more so legacy farmers, those small farmers, and they couldn't actually stand up and weather the storm of the tariff battle, which is like something that's happening to businesses today as well. But farmers were so negatively impacted that bankruptcy for farmers spiked to a high of 24%. 24% of bankruptcies, farmers declared bankruptcy under Donald Trump's first administration. And so they had to sell their legacy farms, and they sold their legacy farms to these big businesses, right? And so these big farms, which a lot of these big farms have controlling interests or either a large majority of interests backed by China, they actually bought these legacy farms, and then they started negotiating with the grocery stores as far as selling those products. And since those legacy farms no longer existed, then the corporations actually hiked up the price, charged more to the grocery stores. And then the grocery stores, of course, passed on that additional cost hike to the consumers. But Donald Trump, with his trade policy, actually negatively impacted those legacy farmers, which caused those legacy farms to be bought out by big businesses. And he's done that in multiple instances as well. For like, even you take a look at like the housing market, right? With the deregulations that he did to the Dodd-Frank Act, it allowed corporations to be able to come into like single family homes, and they no longer had to wait the moratorium period where they had to, where like people could come in and actually put bids on homes first. So he removed that, and he removed the cap on how much they could pay for homes. So what they end up doing was going into subdivisions, and there's like a house for $100,000, and they say, you know what? I'll give you $200,000 for the house cash right now. And they bought up all these single family homes, and they bought up subdivisions, and then they spiked the cost of homes and spiked the cost of rent because the deregulations, and it literally brought us to a point where there's more corporations that own single family homes than actual people in the country. But like these things aren't good, and they're not good for small businesses or for everyday life.
All right. Well, you went on to that as a new point, kind of. I'm gonna try to get to.
I'm sorry. I was trying to connect it as far as like business or whatever. I was just trying to give like additional examples as far as like the policies and everything as far as how he conducts business.
Yeah, I'll try to get to one point at a time, sure, because you said with the increase in entrepreneurship of the Biden administration. Mm-hmm. If that's true, I haven't read statistics on that. If that's true, that's good. I identify as a libertarian, if anything, as my party, if I had to go with one. Mm-hmm. But I like if a Democrat has a good idea, I can get behind it. But Trump did lift a lot of licenses and licensing requirements. So I think that is the appeal to me on being able to more easily get your business's engine revving, so to speak. And then with the farmers, I mean, like I said, I haven't read the statistics on that one from the first administration.
Let me tell you this really quickly. So if you want to take a look at the actual comparison as far as like the Biden administration and the Trump administration, you can take a look. There's a couple of different places where there's information that was listed. You can go to the U.S. Congress Joint Economic Committee, which they did a comparison. It's a three-page document showing the difference as far as small businesses and entrepreneurship under the Biden-Harris administration versus the Trump administration. You can also take a look at the smallbusinessadministration.gov, which they did a SBA manufacturing loan skyrocket. The comparison, small business applications soar 17 million under the Biden administration versus the Trump administration. But you can take a look at the actual differences. And now this one's a little bit selfish for me, but I will say as well, there was significant growth among women, Black people, and Latino people under the Biden and Harris administration as far as being able to start new businesses. But anyway, I just wanted to give you that so at some point you could take a look at the comparison between the two.
Okay.
And that's for his first term, to be fair. So.
Okay, and also with the farming thing, I was going to say that obviously the bankruptcy is bad. The red states, Republicans are the majority in terms of the agriculture industry. I hate to see it if there's bankruptcy there, but I would say that slowing down the acceleration of China's economy is a good thing in the long run.
But we didn't. Did you see that China GDP grew larger than expected in 2025? And they also had I think it was like $1 trillion trade surplus. Like literally, I know that 2025 was one of China's best years.
I know that because Biden's administration had just ended by that point.
It's because Donald Trump tried to force China out of the U.S. in multiple ways. And so he tried to do things like we weren't able to. China was the largest purchaser of our soybeans. I'm sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. China was the largest purchaser of the United States soybeans. And then I think it was for all of Q2 or Q3, they bought 0 soybeans. And what they did was actually engage countries like Argentina and create a new deal with them to purchase soybeans from them. But they also did something in conjunction with Donald Trump. Donald Trump pulled us out of places like with U.S. aid, right? And he removed the soft power that we use to actually influence other nations. And China stepped up and filled that hole for soft power, which allowed them to actually parlay that into different agreements and negotiations. Like China just signed a massive agreement and negotiations with Canada. And so now Canada and China are removing tariffs on each other, and they're like agreeing to trade deals and all this other stuff. So you see, like all around the world, China has been able to step up and fill the holes of the United States, but even more so, they've been super prosperous because of the decisions of Donald Trump. And so that's what led to their impactful 2025.
Do you know how many less consumers there are in Canada though compared to the U.S.? So it's like
we're still buying from China.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the and I'm not pivoting. I'm just bringing this up to go into the point that we're on.
Just to be clear, I didn't tell you that because I'm saying like, oh, Canada is going to be able to replace the United States. I'm telling you that because Donald Trump is forcing other countries to instead engaging with the United States to engage with China. That was the point. I'm not saying Canada is replacing the U.S. I'm saying China is replacing the U.S.
Okay, but at the end of the Obama administration, it was projected that China was going to either by right now, probably be matched with our economy. The U.S., I think, is at what, 21, 22 trillion, I think, and China's at like 13. This is just, I think, I'm not sure those are the exact numbers, but China had been holding stagnant instead of that rapid growth that they were going through. And there is charts and statistics that show that. So China has been severely hindered in their economic growth.
I think the problem that a lot of people have is not understanding China hasn't been stagnant. China's been growing consistently. They haven't been growing at the rate of the US, but they've been growing consistently enough to be a counterbalance, right? I was listening to this economics professor break down like what's currently happening with the balance between the US and China, and how he explained it perfectly as far as like how both of the countries are currently on a ladder, right? And even though the US is a little bit higher on the ladder than China, China is scaling the ladder as well and keeping pace with the US. And so the ladder stays balanced, right? Both countries are growing, expanding, and all this other stuff. But now the US, with specifically Donald Trump, thinks that we should have a bigger lead on China. And so he's trying to create more of an imbalance. But if he creates that more of an imbalance because of how the global economic system is currently established, if he somehow figures out a way to stop China from growing at the same pace, then it's going to topple the entire global system, because the United States and China currently rely on each other as far as the balancing out of the economic systems. They both rely on mutually assured destruction if one can somehow, you know, completely outperform the other. And he was breaking down like this, the actual measures and the connections. Like, I don't have all that information, but the long story short is there's a certain balance, and upsetting that complete balance in the way that it's trying to be done is going to be harmful to everyone.
Well, yeah, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have said stagnant. I mean, they are still growing, but
Yeah,
I
just
should
not
have
as
said
fast as
at a very reduced rate. Anyway, I'm behind schedule. I gotta go, but thanks for having me on. Nice
Hey,
talking to you. And
seriously, thank you for turning this into a genuine conversation. I appreciate you.
yeah, sorry you thought I was a troll at first, but
You were a little trolly. You were a little trolly.
All
Come
right.
on now.
All right, have a good one, man.
You as well. He was a little trolly, but we fixed it. We got it. We're good, chat. We're good. W's in the chat for Kimberly for the $5 donation. I love you, Santana. Thank you for speaking up for trans people. Always, friend. I love you so much more, and always. W's in the chat for Jared, who sent $1 donation. I'm getting sick of people seeing our country, people seeing the country as a landmass that is useful or useless. This is not an effing game of risk. Their lack of consideration for people and entitlement is disgusting to me. Yeah, you know, it always bothers me that people think that everyone else around the world thinks with the same imperialistic mindset that we have here within the United States, and other people in other countries value like the quality of life so much more than just like making monies. I do like the monies, but I do like quality of life more. W's in the chat for Cindy for the $2 donation, saying, sorry, I don't have more. Cindy, you don't have to say sorry. Thank you so much. $2 is more than enough. Thank you. I mean it. Just want to let you know I appreciate how level-headed and calm you are during these debates. It makes me feel less overwhelmed with everything going on in the world right now. I appreciate you so much, love. Listen, I really try. Guys, honestly, I try not to crash out. I crash out sometimes, but I try not to crash out. I really do. W's in chat for the donuts, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. We're not looking to
Fuck all
talk
your
to friends.
donators, bro. Fuck them. Fuck you too.
Okay. What do I do to you?
I hate you. I've been on your live before, bro.
Are
Do
you a
remember
kid?
me? Yeah, bro. Do you remember me?
No, I don't. Why aren't you in school? Go get your parents. Tell your parents to come in here and debate me. Get out of here, kid. I got draws older than you. Hi, Jason. Are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something in the background?
Sure, but I'm also Canadian. I'm not a huge Trump supporter. Obviously, I can't vote for him, but I do agree with a lot of the things that he's doing for your guys' country.
What about the things that he's doing for your guys' country?
Well, I don't agree. Well, he's not really doing anything to our country. I think that's all propaganda.
You think so?
Well, we imposed tariffs on him, just like
Who started it?
Oh, Canada's had tariffs on you. Do you think that tariffs are brand new? Canada.
No. We had the USMCA, and Donald Trump said it was a bad deal, even though he's the one that actually set up the deal, and then tried to impose tariffs on Canada, and Canada retaliated.
So
hey,
Santana,
stop simping for our fascists. Listen, I know you guys are jealous because we got our own fascists and you can't have them, but like, we don't care about you sitting here saying that you support them. Like, shit is fucked up here. Like, shit is on fire. No one cares about you, Jason, in Canada, saying that you support Trump from Canada. We fucking hate it here. Jason, we fucking hate it here, and you think this shit is cool. This shit is not cool, and shit, no, fuck you. This is our country. He should leave. We don't agree with fascism or you.
Can I say something?
You cannot. You cannot. You said nothing. David said nothing's on fire. Come up here and prove it, David. I'm going to mute you, but you don't have your request on, so I can't, request you to come up. I don't get why they want to go here so bad. Shit is not that cool right here in the US right now. Like it used to be. Like my older people will understand this. This is not the US of the 90s. This is not the US of the 90s. Shit ain't fun no more. Just it's not. God damn it. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. David, thank you for coming up. Hold on one second, David. I'm gonna go ahead and get this person as well. You said leave, then you leave. B-Mass, I'm muting you as well. And I'm sending you a request. You come up here, you telling me to leave, you leave. You leave, coward. This is my country, not yours. David, you said shit isn't on fire, right?
Yeah, what is on fire?
Everything. People getting shot in the face in the street. The Constitution is no longer. Yeah, I'm listing the things out, David. People getting shot in the face in the street. The Constitution no longer applies as far as search and entering.
Who are you talking about?
David, do you want me to list the things or do you want me to get?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sure. People getting shot in the face in the street, actually having warrants to enter properties is no longer a thing. People are losing jobs. The stock market is getting wiped out. $1.9 trillion lost. Like shit is on fire. People can't even afford to live anymore. Rent is up. Housing is expensive. Like shit is bad.
Yeah. You gonna give me anything other than Renee Good?
Yeah, Keith Porter Jr. B-Mass, why did you run? Why did you run, B-Mass? Keith Porter Jr.
So that's what you're going to say. The entire country is destroyed because of Renee Good. And
did
Keith
I say
Porter Jr.
You told me to give you?
And
no,
Keith Porter Jr.
It's the stories that you know.
Whoever that is.
Exactly. You don't even know who Keith Porter Jr. is.
I don't think we need to
I hear you
know.
clicking on your keyboard. Go look up Keith Porter Jr.
I don't need to know who Keith Porter Jr. is.
David, you do. Listen. You're letting your... David, sorry. Question for you, David, just to verify. Are you a man? I sent you a request to come off mute.
Are you going to crash? Because if that's all you're going to do...
No, David, are you a man?
We need to have a discussion. We don't need to have a discussion.
David, are you a man?
Goodbye.
Oh, run away, David. Oh,
it's just
run
a
away,
stupid conversation.
Oh, listen, look at the little baby. You're going to whine and cry. No one cares. Listen, you're letting your fragility show, David. You're letting your fragility show. It's okay. I'm gonna let you do your crash understand. I know, David. We all know that you have nothing but your fragility. You got the fifis in your tum-tum, and you don't like being told that you're wrong. But guess what, David? You're wrong. You're wrong. The point that I'm trying to sit here and make is for you to sit here and say, I don't know who Keith Porter Jr. is, and I don't need to look it up. The hubris that you have to sit here and say that I don't need to know something speaks to the lack of intelligence that we're dealing with in our country. For at the very least, you should want to be intellectually curious to find out what is he talking about? Why would he even bring that name up to me? Like I'm not even saying you have to care about it, but you should at least want to know what I'm talking about or who I'm talking about. So you can actually, even if you want to debate against it, you can't debate against something that you don't know. Dave, you have my permission.
Why don't you just tell me who Keith Porter Jr. is?
No, I'm not going to do the labor for you. You do it. Go look it up. I heard you clicking on your keyboard. I heard you clicking on your keyboard. Go look it up. Go look up Keith Porter Jr. I'm going to say thank you to a couple of people. Like you have your keyboard in front of me. I heard you clicking. Go look it up. W's in chat for Amanda for the $25 donation, saying for spreading the truth. And I agree. We need a woman. I agree too. David fucking ran. Oh, we told him to go do his own research. And he said, I refuse. You're not going to make me actually have to figure something out. How dare you? I'm a man. I'm entitled. Coward. W's in chat for Mike. What up, Mike? Who sent a $2 donation saying Santana, the shit in Minnesota is getting out of control. ICE is now arresting an off-duty police officer. That's why they're starting to freak out. It's their turn. I literally said that. W's in chat for Brittany for the $10 donation saying, you're so right. I'm a 31-year-old, and I feel like everything was much more progressive when I was younger. Much more love. That's our hippie grandmas teaching us right from wrong. Yeah, I mean, I think we also look through the world through a revisionist lens, right? And I think that It's about where we were or where we think we were versus where we are. I mean, we can see how bad shit is today, but we don't necessarily remember the things of the past as clearly as it happened. So I'm not going to say like, oh, it's so much worse today. I will say that people have less rights today. What up, Hector? Everybody drop some milk duds in the chat for Hector. Let's see. W's in the chat for Emma for the, I'm just going to say dollar donation. Emma says, as a real Canadian, we hate Trump and what's happening in the U.S. You should watch our Prime Minister's statement on America. It was wonderful and exactly how leaders should be acting. I agree. Like, other leaders around the world are absolutely rebuking Trump and pushing back on the narrative that he's pushing. And MAGA, you guys are alone. Like, no one is actually agreeing with you guys. It's not happening. It's not happening. Oh. Hey, Poo Poo. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Is that how you talk to people?
That's how I talk to you.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Aww. Him mad. Chat, him mad.
Not at all, man.
Oh, it's okay, Poo Poo. It's okay. Listen, I am gentle.
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
I will get you a binky and a blanket, and I will allow you to have a safe space. I will create a safe space for you right now because that's what you need. So
are you in your feelings?
No, you're in yours, and I have to address your feelings. It's okay. You got big fifis.
I'm not in my feelings, man.
You got big fifis, and it's okay. You can feel your fifis. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, bub. I got you. I got you, sport.
Wow.
Don't even worry. Listen. I'll take care of you, Tiger. Let's talk, Tiger.
Hey, champ.
So, the point that I'm getting.
Hey, champ. What's your point, champ?
Yeah, no, don't worry, sport. I got you. Listen.
Okay, pal.
So you sitting here saying that you don't want to actually.
Keith Porter Jr. Yes, unalive.
Listen to the microaggression.
So what, bro?
So what is Keith Porter Jr. is a. Listen, hey.
Is the country on fire because of Keith Porter Jr.?
You're crashing, bub. I know you're crashing.
Hey,
I need
sweetheart.
you to stop. Listen,
it's okay.
Don't worry. There. I just gave you a binky. Keep it in your mouth, okay? There you go. Shh. Keep it in your mouth. Good boy. There you go.
Children.
So the point that I'm sitting here trying to make, right, is that understanding that Keith Porter Jr., an American citizen that was only celebrating the coming in of the new year, was killed by an off-duty ICE agent who has seen no repercussions, nothing, since murdering an American citizen. That's concerning. And the United States government is covering for that ICE agent. That's something. They're allowing these people to kill American citizens with no repercussions. And David, just because he's a black man and you don't care about that black man doesn't mean he doesn't matter. Just because you have the inability to actually care about black people.
Was Renee good
or
black?
feel about the pain for black people.
Was Renee black?
That you don't.
Give me the details.
Sure. Also, no, Renee wasn't black. Renee good.
Well,
you know the difference between Renee and Keith Porter Jr.?
Possibly could she have?
While Renee, they had, both of them had something in common. So Renee was a white woman. Keith Porter Jr. was a black man. The thing that both of them shared is they were both a part of marginalized groups. Black man, white woman. They were disenfranchised, and they continue to be disenfranchised by mediocre white men like yourself.
Tell me what the
mediocre white men that
Porter
can't.
Jr.
David,
is?
you can't even control yourself. How old are you, David? David, you got to be at least 70. You got to be at least 70. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice. I hear a lifetime of hatred, bigotry, racism, and just being told that you're the shit.
Just call somebody a racist.
Not realizing that you're just shit. I hear it. Now,
Using the
act
debate
like you have some type of self-control. David, stop it. Shushies, bub.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Shushies, bub. So the point that I was making, right?
Keep crashing.
Is that both of them, while being a black man and a white woman, they're both a part of marginalized communities. And so you don't care about the black man, just like you don't care about the white woman, because neither one of them are white men, and that doesn't affect you. That's the point, David. End of story. Point blank, period.
Okay. Can you tell me
now? You may speak.
Can you tell me, without going nuts and falling off the deep end, what's the situation with Mr. Porter Jr.? What happened? Did he just walk up to the man, put a pew-pew behind his head, and blow his head off?
No. Keith Porter Jr. was shooting off an AR. He shot rounds into the air during a...
Hold up.
No, I don't have to hold up. I'm telling the story. You're not going to stop there.
It's a little different.
No. You want to cherry pick because you think that makes your case. If I just stop right there. No. So Keith Porter Jr., as far as New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year, started shooting an AR off into the air, celebrating New Year.
Did someone get on
And while an off-duty ICE agent, who's not a police officer, made the decision to actually go see what was going on, and then approached Keith Porter Jr. and killed him. Keith Porter Jr. was not engaging in an active shooter alert. He was not trying to harm anyone. He was letting off shots, which a ton of Americans do to bring in the New Year's. And this off-duty ICE agent took it upon himself to play RoboCop or some shit and decide that he was going to actually go and stop Keith Porter Jr. and he left him dead. Now, the wild part about that,
his story.
The wild part about that is that Keith Porter Jr., the person that actually did this, he literally, name information has not been released. No charges, no nothing. ICE is not police officers, and they don't have the ability to detain or stop or do anything with American citizens, and they don't get to go and kill American citizens. That's it. Point blank, period.
There's a little bit more to the story.
What's more?
Go ahead and tell the whole story,
Yeah, go ahead and fill it in.
So he's sitting there with an AR after he's been firing it in the air, and it's not exactly out in a field. So where's he firing it?
In the air. Go ahead and finish.
Where? Oh, in the air. Yeah, where? Is it in a big farm field?
No, who cares?
What do you mean, who cares, man? When bullets go up, do they come down?
Yeah, that's fine. Tell me what
Santana,
tell me what Keith Porter
alive by firing.
Tell me what Keith Porter did to actually tell me what Keith Porter did. Hey, tell me what Keith Porter did. Tell me what Keith Porter did to deserve for an off-duty ICE agent to kill him.
Firing over you?
Hey, you cannot hear me if you're speaking at the same time as me, David. You're a fucking adult. Act like you're an adult. Tell me what Keith Porter Jr. did that deserved for him to be killed by an off-duty ICE agent.
Taking a semi-automatic weapon, right? And firing it in an urban area, right?
So
you think that's safe?
So you're saying, and just to make sure I have this correct, you're saying that
safe?
No, just to make sure, David, because my question was, my question was, tell me what Keith Porter Jr. David, you're crashing.
I asked you
You're crashing, bub. It's right here. Look, it's right here. Crash out, you lose. You're losing.
Ask you a question.
Don't lose. If you crash out, I'm going to take it as a concession and just going to kick you. Like, you crash out, you lose. It's the same thing. Fucking, like, I've already given you a binky.
Sweetheart.
Keep it together. I know your fragility is showing. Keep it together.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
So I said, tell me what Keith Porter Jr. did that deserved him to be murdered by an off-duty ICE agent. And you said that he was actually shooting a weapon in a residential area. And so I'm saying, are you saying that the justification for him to be murdered by an off-duty ICE agent was him shooting a weapon into the air in a residential area? That justifies him being murdered.
So he walked up to this guy, right? And
who walked up to who?
The off-duty ICE officer.
Okay.
Walked up
is the
to
off-duty
this man.
Is the off-duty ICE officer a police officer?
No. He's a citizen.
Okay,
so
perfect.
he walks.
So he's a citizen.
He's
Got
also
it.
law enforcement.
Yeah, but he's not a police officer.
He's protect and serve, man.
No, he's not. He's literally not.
That is. Yes,
he's literally
he
not.
is.
What? Sure.
Okay,
Question
so
for
a
you, just to make sure.
citizen
No, just to make sure you have understanding, because this may be. This may be. Wait. This may be why you're struggling right now.
Okay, Santana.
Do ICE officers have any jurisdiction over United States citizens?
A citizen could have done this.
Answer the question.
No, they're over.
Okay, perfect. So they have no authority over United States citizens. So this is a private citizen murdering a private citizen. Right?
What was he doing?
Shooting a weapon off in the air.
He was doing what?
Shooting a weapon in the air. Yes.
Where?
In a residential area. Again, so my question is, are you saying that shooting a weapon in the air in a residential area is justification for murder?
Oh my God.
David, answer the question. I've been answering your questions. Answer my question.
Wait.
David, no, you keep trying to, you have more questions, more questions. I've answered all of your questions. David, answer the question. Is it justification? Listen.
Because you need
Are you saying the justification for Keith Porter Jr. being murdered is him shooting that weapon in a residential area in the air? That was justification for him being murdered by an off-duty ICE agent. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Really? Perfect. So you think that off-duty ICE agents should be able to murder you, David?
Any citizen should have done that.
So now it's okay for United States citizens to murder United States citizens.
Stop crashing.
No, I'm not crashing. Listen, you don't know how crashes work. You don't know how crashes work. You're sitting here saying that you think that it's justification for American citizens to murder American citizens. That's your premise.
Hold on, Santana.
You're saying that you think that it's okay to murder American citizens. That's what you're saying.
Santana, listen.
That's what you just said, David.
Yes, I did. I didn't stutter.
So why is that justification? Why? Okay, so who gets to determine who murders who?
I'm going to talk about it with you if you don't crash.
Make sure you answer that question specifically.
Who gets to determine it?
How do we know which American citizen gets to murder which American?
Self-unaliving by shooting a AR in the air in a residential.
That's not true. You're lying. You're lying.
Self-unaliving.
You're lying. Now answer the question. Answer the question, David. Answer the question.
He did answer it. Yes.
David, who gets to make the decision? Who gets to make the decision as far as which American citizen gets to murder which American citizen?
Not murder.
You've already said it was. You've already said it was.
It's
David, stop it.
Defending the guy.
David, you're crashing. Stop it. David, you're crashing.
Do you have children?
David, you're crashing.
Do you have children?
David, answer the question directly. Who gets to make the determination as far as which American citizen gets to murder which American citizen?
Well, if you tell me how it's murder, I'll agree with you.
Answer the question, David.
I
don't need you to agree with me. I just need you to answer it.
I guess it depends on the person shooting the weapon.
What does that have to do with?
Were they both shooting weapons?
I'm going to say it one more time and slowly because we're not talking about. Listen.
Sweetie, don't pivot.
Hey, I know, Bub. I know. Listen.
Can I take a
weapon? It's okay.
House.
Answer the question, David.
Can I take a weapon?
This isn't me talking about Keith Porter Jr. and the ICE agent anymore. This is me being very direct because you're saying that you think that United States citizens should be able to murder United States citizens. I'm saying, okay, who gets to make the determination about which United States citizen gets to murder which United States citizen? Answer the question directly. I didn't say anything about weapons. I didn't say anything about weapons. I'm just saying who makes the determination as far as who gets to murder who.
Why did he fire at him?
That's not the answer to the question, David. David, one more time. Listen.
I
need you to stay on mute and just hear me when I say this. David, I need you to stay on mute and listen to me when I say this.
Oh, man. Why did he fire?
David, I'm going to give you one more chance to answer the question. If you can't answer the question directly, then I'm going to just take the concession and I'm going to kick you.
You're going to run.
Because you not answering the question is literally you running from the argument. So listen.
Run away, little boy.
I know. You're such a petulant man-child. You're crashing out. Oh, listen.
says it's not.
David, who gets
Run
to make the
away.
decision
Run
about
away.
which American citizen murders which American citizen? You've already said that they can do it. Now answer the question. Who gets to make the decision as far as what American citizen gets to murder what American citizen? Go ahead and answer.
I'll try, but I doubt you'll let me finish. So you're going to run away. So go ahead, run away.
I don't care about you whining and crying. No one cares about your fragility. I know
Run.
white male fragility is kicking your ass right now, David. Just answer the
run.
question. No one cares about you whining and crying. No one cares about your crash out, David. Just answer the question. Holy shit, hurry up. Answer the question.
ahead.
Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Answer the
Somebody
question.
run.
Hurry up. Answer the question.
Oh, the person that shoots him.
What are you talking about? No one talks about guns. You're not
Who
listening.
made the decision? Who
You're
made
not
the decision?
listening. You're not
Well,
listening.
if
That's
I
the
take
problem.
your-
Last time, I need you to stop crashing and listening. Stop crashing and listen.
You just
We're
tell me the
not
answer.
talking. We're not talking about Keith Porter Jr. and ICE. Listen to the question. You said that American citizens can murder American citizens. I said, cool. Who gets to make the decision as far as what American citizen gets to murder what American citizen? We're not talking about guns. We're not talking about ICE. We're not talking about that situation. We're talking about who makes that decision. Who gets to make the decision? Answer the question.
Well, it would have to be murder.
That's not the answer to the question. Who gets to make the decision?
You're trying
David?
to tell me that he murdered him.
David, who gets to make the decision?
You'd have to show me how he murdered him.
Fucking weak. You're fucking weak and you couldn't do it. You're fucking weak and you couldn't do it. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. You're weak and you couldn't do it. I sat there and told you, like, answer the question. Like, what are we doing? Anywho. So, 1 second here. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do because David's crash kind of threw things off track a little bit. And we want to keep debates going. So I'm going to hit a quick restart. I'm going to hit a quick restart. Make sure you hit that follow button up at the top right here. Follow the backup account. We're going to hit a quick restart. We're going to come right back. It'll be like less than 10 seconds.
And we bought a home here in Ohio that we've been living in since 2023 around a lot of white people. Some of those white people are in their 70s, okay? White people who help us. My white neighbor who is like the same age as my father, who's 70 years old, has taught me more things about taking care of a yard, about cutting down like my trees. He's let me use tools. They've done all types of things to try to help me, a Black young man. I'm 39 years old with my Black Caribbean wife, and they have been very, very helpful, very helpful. And there's no racism. There's no funny acting stuff, nothing like that. And we feel very safe. Matter of fact, I just came from the Caribbean with my wife, and our white neighbor picked us up. And we landed at like midnight, and they said, hey, we'll pick you up. Don't even worry about it. And they picked us up and dropped us off. We haven't had any problems with none of the white people that we live around in our neighborhood, and it's predominantly white. Okay, we don't feel threatened or nothing like that.
Okay, let me just give me 1 second. I think it was Carolina that said that. So let me let Carolina respond. Just as a time check, you guys, real quick question. Give me 1
Sorry,
second.
I was the one that said the stats about living amongst.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, it's Swan. So let's Swan respond to Deuce, but real quick.
Man, can I get in there?
Everybody know. Hold on, y'all. Real quick. Let me just make an announcement. I've got about 30 minutes. I got to catch a flight I cannot miss. So, okay, in 30 minutes, we're done. So please tap the screen. Let's finish strong. So panelists, okay, I'm going to be a little bit stricter with time, right? And so please be able to express yourself, but I am going to be a little bit stricter with time. Taylor Twice, the best mod on TikTok is in the house, or one of the best, I should say. I'm gonna get in trouble. One of the best mods on TikTok is in the house. Go ahead, Swan, your response.
I'm dropping, fam. And I'm taking my peacoat with me. I'm taking my peacoat with me. Look, Southern.
Ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies get left in shame. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats will get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No,
cap,
no.
Shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna?
Welcome back, guys.
I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Lego.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
Nope.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force.
I'm the
test, the trap, the trip, the call. You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Boom.
Yeah. Step in if you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
No,
cap,
no.
Shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong
move, get cooked real quick.
No,
cap,
no.
Shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Yeah.
Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This a flame space. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome back. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Brad, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay, perfect. Brad, I think that it's time for women to take power. I think it's time for women in leadership. I think it's time for us to embrace what is inevitable.
Yeah.
Sorry. What point on the background do you think you disagree with the most that you can defend?
Yeah, I mean, let's just address that first point that you brought up. Do you care if it's white women, black women, Asian women, just women in general?
Mm-hmm. What up, Brett?
So you'd be cool with a white woman running for president and then a white woman running for vice president?
Yeah.
How about a white woman running for president and a white man running for vice president?
No white man. It's on the background. You see who this is right here? Hold on. Sorry. You see who this is right here? Like up in the corner. There. God damn it. There. You see that person?
I can't make out who that is. No.
That's Nikki Haley.
Okay.
So I even have like Republicans. I'm this is not a Democrat thing or a Republican thing. This is like a thing, period.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see an issue with a white woman being president.
Oh, wait, do you see an issue with the black woman being president?
Depends why you're voting this black woman in, Santana.
Wait, why does it depend on the black woman and not the white woman?
Because, man, so my firm belief is that Kamala Harris was elevated to the position that she was and put in the position that she was in running against Trump because she was a black woman.
That's not true.
For sure. Absolutely.
Substantiate your claim.
For sure. And then Tim Walz was a token
white guy. I agree with that.
White guy. Yeah.
Your claim about Kamala Harris.
So why do you agree with that he was a token white vice president candidate, but not with Kamala Harris being the token black woman?
For the
Democratic
Party. My argument, I don't want to give you my argument yet, but I want you to substantiate why you think that Kamala Harris was a token black woman, and then I'll tell you why she wasn't.
Okay. I mean, I think that she was because she was not the best candidate and clearly didn't represent the party in a way that she should have to secure the win. I mean, it was not a good showing. She was rushed. I think that the
the state of the country was at a place where they thought that this was the best option. And I mean, fortunately, it didn't work out in the party's favor. And I think that they're revamping. I don't know if they are for sure, because as of recent, but my understanding was, okay, this didn't work. Let's kind of reassess our tactics. And yep.
Okay. What if I tell you that you're not only wrong, you're just racist?
Sure, you can call me racist. That's fine.
Okay, cool. So
yeah,
the reason why
I don't think white people could be racist, but
you're gonna have to stand on that. Well, don't worry, I'll make you stand.
I'm just doing the same thing you do. You say black people can't be racist. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. But
it may be funny, but I can substantiate any and everything that I can say. But perfect. Let's stick on this one, right? So the reason why Kamala Harris was not only the best option, and I'm sorry, was she was not a token, because she was the best / only option, right? And this is
the only option. Yeah.
So Joseph Robinette Biden dropped out, and there was 107 days prior to the election. Kamala Harris had 107 days to run.
Not enough time. Yeah,
exactly. I agree. But the catch-22 is there was a $100 million war chest that was allocated for the actual presidential election. Who are the only two people that had access to the $100 million war chest?
I don't know what you're referring to with the war chest, the $100 million war chest.
Meaning the amount of money and donations that have been received towards the presidential election. Like they had $100 million to use for the presidential campaign.
Yeah. Are you saying for the Democratic Party?
Yep.
The only two people that had access to it? No idea.
Joseph Robinette Biden and Kamala Devi Harris.
Okay.
So any other candidate that would have actually, ran for president
wouldn't have
had
to
start from zero. Exactly. Now, the catch-22 as well, 107 days, no one had the infrastructure to be able to ramp up and build a team in order to have a successful run. Did you know that even Kamala Harris had to inherit the the background. Would you mind muting for me for a second? The background noise is throwing me off a little bit. Like there's cars or something going by.
Is it still? Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me fix my headphones.
Okay. While he does that, really quick, W's in the chat for Megan for the $1 donation. This is from before we hit the restart. W's in the chat for Megan for the $1 donation saying, no, I still hear the cars. Do you have like a window down or are you standing outside?
No. I'm walking outside.
Okay.
Is it real bad?
Just mute for me just for a few minutes. W's in the chat for Megan for the $1 donation saying such big feelings. My favorite response to self-proclaimed alphas. You're always less mean than I'd be. I try to be. Listen, I think it's funnier to make them crash out while like not being overly like asshole-ish. I guess asshole-ish or however you want to say it. I think that's funnier. W's in the chat for Kira for the $20 donation saying sometimes, anytime someone gets defensive or offended when called a racist confirms exactly what they are. Anyone who truly does not want to be racist will always react very differently. I completely agree. W's in the chat for Kyra for the $2 donation saying either way, and that wasn't about
Santana.
Yeah.
Real quick, man. I think it's hilarious. I just want to say too. The fact that your chat is saying, is he running into traffic? It's just.
W's in the chat for K. W's in the chat for Kara for the $2 donation saying either way, unless he was clearly harming those around him legally, ICE agents.
Your chat wants me to unalive in traffic.
Hey, Bub, I'm thanking the donors. Chill out for a second.
I know, bro. You and Dean.
Yeah, I know. Stop. Shushies. I have to say thank you. I am grateful.
You're a nice guy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's respectful.
Debbie's in the chat for Kara for the $2 donation saying either way, unless he was clearly harming those around him legally, an ICE agent on or off duty should call local law enforcement to handle the situation and not take matters into their own hand, especially if their default is lethal force. I completely agree. W's in the chat for Molly for the $5 donation saying,
hey brother, I'm gonna be
David's
honest with you. I got
argument-
5 minutes. We can talk, or like you can keep thinking your chat, but I gotta run in 5. So if you're not looking to have
David's argument is so disingenuous. We have white male shooters who get walked out and escorted after murdering of children and taken to McDonald's and shoot up a church. Actually, it was Burger King. It was Burger King shooting up church. It's so uneven. Absolutely right, Molly. W's in chat for Molly. W's in chat for Barbara for the $20 super chat to say, firing weapons in the air, 4th of July, New Year's Eve, etc., is common in Florida and other southern states. So I guess there would be a lot of bodies piling up if citizens can go and unalive them. Couldn't agree more. W's in chat for Rust Belt for the $5 super chat to say, I've been in and near by Pittsburgh, and people fire off weapons in the air on New Year's Eve all the time. It's a common practice. W's in the chat for Split for the $5 super chat to say, I've been ready for a woman president. We need that break. I completely agree. W's in the chat for all the donors. And just a side note, if there's ever an op that's gonna say, oh, you got to pick between me and the people that decide to support you, I'm gonna pick them every time. Every single time. They mean more to me than you. What they have to say in their messages to me means way more to me than anything that you're gonna say on this live. So W's in the chat for my chat, W's in the chat for all the donors. And if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, Sky, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am, and yes. How's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. First off, I want to ask, was that you rapping in the beginning?
Nah.
No.
Don't answer that question. No. It's an artist that made that song and 2 other songs for me.
Oh, okay. It was pretty dope.
Right. I like it.
I wanted to talk about the no white men vice presidents.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, you don't want any more, or?
Well, I won't say any more, but I think we definitely need a break. Like, at the very least, let's just chill out on them for a little while. But no. So I do think there are definitely white men that are qualified to be vice president. So I will acknowledge that at the start. But I think if you take a look at the history of our country and where we currently are, we have over the 250-year history of our country, over 90% of Congress, right? And that's House, Senate, and presidency has been white men. And so the direct response as far as the legislation that they've passed and the things that they've done has led us to where we are today. It doesn't matter if you're left or right, blue or red or whatever. Like, white men have held power and white men are solely responsible for where we are. So while I think there's a need for a woman president, I do not think that there's a need to saddle a woman president with a white man vice president under the premise of that will make her more palatable. I think white men are the quote unquote standard, right? Because they sit at the top of the patriarchal system. But I think that saddling our first ever woman president with a white man would just, it would be counterproductive, because she doesn't need that big, strong, tough white man standing behind her in order to be a successful president. So that's why I say no white men.
Well, it's a respectable opinion. I would say that I don't really would base it off of race or gender. Like, I don't care if we have a female president or vice president. Woman, yeah. I don't care if we have a woman president or vice president, as long as they're just fulfilling the duties that they need to fulfill.
Wait, so did you vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
I wasn't 18 yet during the election, but I am now. But I would have voted for Trump.
Then you don't agree with that premise then?
Why do you say that?
Because Kamala Harris was more suitable for the office of the presidency than Donald Trump, even with Donald Trump being president for a first term.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, tell me how.
Well, I believe that she was kind of like thrown in there last minute, especially after the debate that didn't go too well between Trump and Biden.
I agree, but how does that actually knock her qualifications, and the fact that I'm saying that she was more qualified to be president, even though she had never been president?
Because I believe that Trump had a lot more qualifications.
What qualifications?
From his first term and everything.
What qualifications?
From being president during his first term.
Yeah, what qualifications?
From having that experience and being
okay. Cool. Hold on. Follow me on this. Do you like football?
I got into it this year, and then I got mad after that Bills game. So I
didn't watch a Bill game.
Yeah, it was rigged.
What sport do you like? What sport have you partaken in for a longer period of time?
None really. I've mostly been into politics.
Okay. Looking for analogy. Okay. You're in politics. You know who Justice Robert is, right?
Sounds familiar.
What do you mean sounds familiar?
The name sounds familiar.
You said you've been into politics, right?
Yeah.
And you lean right?
Yeah.
Justice Roberts is the leader of the Supreme Court. He is a conservative Supreme Court justice, one of the most impactful and influential people in the world.
Yeah.
You should probably learn the Supreme Court justices for sure. But all right, never mind. I was looking for an analogy that I thought that would fit. The point that I'm trying to make is like, okay, cool. How about this? Because you know who LeBron James is, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you know who Cooper Flagg is?
No.
Do you know who God damn it, what's his name? Anthony Edwards is?
I think so.
Okay. Would you say that Anthony Edwards is the best NBA player of all time because he has experience playing in the NBA?
No.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm just going to keep it really straight because the analogy isn't going to work. The point that I'm trying to get across is I know, Kay, I was trying to, but he doesn't know sports ball. The point that I was trying to get to is just because Donald Trump doesn't have just because Donald Trump had experience doing the thing versus like Kamala Harris doesn't mean that he was more qualified because he didn't actually do much while he was doing the thing. Yes, Donald Trump is a former president of the United States, but Kamala Harris oversaw more monumental legislation. She had a higher approval rating on an international stage. She actually worked in all three branches of the United States government. She has a deeper history of political experience. And so her qualifications stacked up not only overshadowed Donald Trump's and what he had to bring to the table, but Kamala Harris was literally the most qualified candidate to ever seek the office of the presidency for a first term. So saying that like you're voting based off of the premise of qualifications and things like that, you wouldn't have supported Donald Trump over Kamala Harris because she literally laps him in everything.
Well, I wouldn't say that I vote based off of qualifications. I would also say that Trump had a lot more better things running on the campaign than Kamala did.
Kamala, name one.
Kamala. The border, like Kamala, that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Kamala compared ICE agents to the KKK. I wouldn't compare that at all.
I wouldn't either. I would compare them to slave catchers.
I wouldn't say that either.
Why?
Because I believe that to come into America, we have to have a proper vetting system, background checks, whatever. We can't just...
Yeah, that's fine. But do you know who slave catchers are?
People who catch slaves, yeah.
Yeah, people in the chat saying the Gestapo, but my sister Ashley the Baroness made this video, and ever since she made the video, it like hit like a ton of bricks. They're not the Gestapo. They're literally modern day slave catchers utilized to actually go detain, subjugate, things like that. It's such a type of video, but like the premise as far as what they're doing and the way that they are able to actually work without impunity. Hey, Sky, question for you.
So,
do you think the cops should be able to kick in your door and run in your house if they like don't have any type of evidence and things like that to grab you specifically?
no, not without a warrant or anything.
Not without a warrant. Right. Cool. Did you know that Donald Trump and his administration, he signed an executive order saying that it gave ICE agents to enter people's homes without a warrant?
Well, if they're here illegally,
They don't know if they're illegally or not. They're just
I would say that they should know.
They should, but they don't. They're literally kicking in doors of American citizens and pulling American citizens out, not looking for documentation or anything, like kicking people's doors in, grabbing American citizens and pulling them out.
Yeah, I don't agree with them grabbing American citizens. There's obviously some flaws to it.
Yeah, the flaw is that they're violating the Constitution. Did you know that the Constitution protects your access to search and seizure?
Yeah.
So why is Donald Trump trying to like tell ICE to violate the Constitution?
Well, I think they just need to know if the person they're breaking into their house is illegal or not before they do
Undocumented. But they don't. They don't. Like, see, but this is the problem, right? So the difference between Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, which is like literally the difference that I see in men and women a lot, is that Kamala Harris had plans, right? Kamala Harris had plans for Kamala Harris like fucking Batman. She had contingency plans. She had plans for plans for plans. And Donald Trump just does shit, right? Literally, he does shit to see what works, and nothing works, so he's just doing shit. And when you are just sending them out there and giving them the impunity, what'd you say? Allow terror. Oh, okay. Hey, Denver, I'm going to mute you, but I'm going to send you a request. Come up here and tell me about it, Bub. Donald Trump is just sending them out there and giving them coverage to do whatever the fuck they want because they're not even properly trained, right? They reduce the physical aspect as far as becoming an ICE agent. They reduce the background checks, so it's easier to become an ICE agent. They reduce the amount of time that it takes to train to become an ICE. Did you know it takes longer to become a barber, to get your license to become a barber than it does to become an ICE agent?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. They reduce training. They reduce the physical fitness portion twice, and people still couldn't pass, so they just removed it, like altogether. They reduced the background checks and so it's not extreme as they were before. And so now you have people like, do you know who the Boogaloo Boys are?
No.
Do you know who the Oath Keepers are?
No.
Do you know who the Proud Boys are?
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, you know who the KKK is, though, right?
Yeah.
They're all hate groups, like white supremacy hate groups. ICE has seen an influx of people joining from those groups because of the actual reductions in the qualifications and the background check, and also the fact that they're offering up to like $50,000 bonuses. So Donald Trump and his administration has changed the system as far as how they can actually target people. They've changed it to a quota system, and they're letting just anyone in. And so like the premise that, oh, they should know who's who before they do the thing. Not only do they not give a damn about who's who, they're not even trained properly on who's who. That's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Let me hit you with one more quick thing.
What's up?
Did you know in the last 10 years prior to Donald Trump, there had been 120 United States citizens detained by ICE? In 10 years.
Trump?
I'm sorry?
You said before Trump?
Yep. The 10 years before Trump, there had been 120 United States citizens detained by ICE over a span of 10 years, right?
Okay.
Within a span of the first 10 months of Trump being in office, there had already been 170 Americans, United States citizens detained by ICE.
Well, I would say you'd also have to look at how the numbers have changed of how many illegals have been
undocumented. Like undocumented. You got it. This is the second time I'm correcting that.
My bad. How many undocumented people have been in here compared to that time, and how many deportations there are?
Donald Trump is deporting people at a lower rate than Joe Biden or Barack Obama. They're not even doing a good job at this. Like this is the fucked up part, Sky. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Donald Trump ran on mass deportation.
Yeah.
Donald Trump funded ICE to the 14th highest level of any military budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you stack ICE budget up against anyone else, 14th highest. Donald Trump gave them immunity, told governors they got federal immunity. If you arrest them, then you're going to be in trouble with the federal government. And apparently even told them that they don't even need warrants to kick in people's doors anymore. And also they allocated over 20% of all federal law enforcement to help support ICE. So the FBI, CIA, US Marshals, right? All of that. And they're still deporting people at a lower rate than Joe Biden or Barack Obama. Now, whether you agree or disagree with mass deportation, I think we can both agree, like, spending that amount of money and allocating those amount of resources and talking about it that much, like, he's failing, right? If he did all of this and he's still not even doing it as well as Biden or Obama, that sounds like a failure, right?
Yeah, I would say that there should be more, but I would also say that ICE agents are kind of being slowed down right now with all the people blocking them from being able to go to where they need to go, like standing.
That's because they keep violating people's constitutional rights.
Yeah, but that's also why the deportation numbers are lower.
No, that's not why deportation numbers are lower.
One of the reasons.
No, it's not. You want to know why?
Why?
They're low because Donald Trump is using ICE to capture undocumented immigrants and to sell them into free slave labor and then send them to concentration camps.
I believe they're being deported back to their country and into jail.
No, they're not. They're not. See, that's the catch-22. Donald Trump is selling them into free slave labor and then sending them to concentration camps. What is the parameter as far as what counts when it comes to deportation? How do you put a check in that box saying, yes, that was a deportation?
Once they're deported back to their country?
Yep. You send them back to the country that they originated from, or if their country like Russia doesn't accept, what up, Swan? Russia doesn't accept undocumented immigrants. And so like you can negotiate a third country that would accept those immigrants. Donald Trump is sending people into the private, Donald Trump is sending people into, did you know that slavery still exists today?
Yeah.
In the US?
Like with not in the US. No.
Yeah, in the US. We have slavery today, legalized slavery in the United States of America today.
How so?
13th Amendment.
I don't see how we have any slaves in the U.S. still.
Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to read this. You know what the Constitution is, right?
Yeah.
And then, like we got amendments.
Yeah.
And then like there's one that's the 13th. And this is what it says.
Okay.
Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for crimes wherefore the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any places subject to the jurisdiction. You know what that means?
So you're saying that he's keeping them here?
Yeah. In prison. He's sending them to the United States prisons. And instead of them actually, having their cases heard and them being deported, they're staying for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even some of them 6 months, right? Way longer than they're supposed to actually be held. But then, what's really fucked up? Have you heard of CCOT?
No.
Okay, CCOT is a torturous concentration camp in El Salvador where, people go in and, they end up dying and they go through mental and physical torture. Donald Trump is, instead of sending them back to their home country after using them for free slave labor, he's sending them to places like CCOT, to other countries.
So are the people going to CCOT Are they originally from that country?
Nope. That's why it's not counting as a deportation. Because Donald Trump isn't meeting the qualifications of deportation. But you want to know what's even crazier about all of this? What if I told you that deportation isn't about undocumented immigrants or getting them out of the country? What if I told you deportation was all about money? Would you believe that?
I don't know. You'd have to explain it.
Have you ever heard of a group called Core Civic?
No.
And, you know, that's not okay.
Jake, can you come off mute, Jake? Can I have your age stated who you voted for?
What's up? Yeah, 29, Arkansas. But
For a prosecutor, you'd never in an investigation go and try to get someone's tow records or phone records and then tell them, hey, dude, we're about to get your phone records. Exactly. Of course you wouldn't tell them.
Exactly.
What the Republicans are saying today is just idiotic. I am so pleased you're here on national TV telling the American people that Trump was indicted. He was indicted lawfully, and multiple grand juries secured those indictments.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, and history will look upon you.
That's Ted
well.
Lieu. That's Ted Lieu. He's great from
Young lady
California.
from
He's
Florida is
great.
recognized for 5 minutes.
That was awesome.
Mrs. Smith, you have a long tenure at the Department of Justice. Would you agree
Oh, this is Ms.
that
Lieu
the
from
statement that DOJ
Listen to
charging
this.
policies require prosecutors to bring charges only where the admissible evidence is expected to be sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction? Is that right?
That is correct. That's from the federal principles of prosecution.
And in this case you brought against President Trump, one of the charges you pursued was under Title 18, Section 371, which requires an agreement to interfere with the lawful function of the United States through deceit or dishonesty that the defendant knowingly and intentionally joined, and an overt act. And what I'd like to ask you about is this. So you would agree that Section 371 requires dishonesty or deceit and also proof that a criminal defendant acted knowingly and intentionally. Is that right?
I believe that's correct. It requires knowing deceit targeted a lawful government function.
So you would then also agree, would you not, that opinion, disagreement, or even mistake is insufficient to satisfy the burden of criminal intent set forth in that statute?
Holy shit, they're desperate.
A mistake certainly would. We needed to prove and intended to prove at trial that the false statements that Donald Trump made were knowingly false.
That they were false and that it was done knowingly. So even under your theory of the case, even if we took your facts as true, you still would have been required to prove that the president said something false and that he or did it knowingly. So going on to your next charge, let's talk about obstruction.
She didn't bother to go back to that.
Too,
Oh my
that
God.
charge requires proof
Holy
of wrongful
shit.
intent, does it not?
That's correct.
So if a defendant there actually believes a factual claim is true, that would mean he could not be convicted of that charge. Isn't that right?
Well,
Not correctly convicted.
The defendant for that charge would have to behave corruptly. And corruptly could include seeking an unlawful benefit, seeking a benefit to benefit themselves, in this case, to stay in office when they had in fact not won the election.
But there too, there's a requirement of intent that this conduct must be knowing and intentional. Isn't that right?
There is an intent requirement, yes.
And didn't you also acknowledge in your deposition that the president was receiving information from multiple advisors? Giuliani, Eastman, Clark, Powell. And in your deposition, you said he was almost just regurgitating what they told him. Isn't that right?
I don't believe I said he was regurgitating what they told him. I think what I said is that he was making knowingly false claims, that he was believing anything that would keep him in office. He was
But
rejecting
you would
anything.
agree that those people or some people were giving the president conflicting advice at that time. Would you not?
We were just following orders.
Wow.
That's
You're correct
wild.
in that his original campaign staff told him he had lost. He fired them and brought in people who would.
But criminal liability under the statutes you used in your indictment requires proving intent, not simply the undermining of democratic norms or expressing an opinion with which you do not agree. So is it not correct, sir, that
Holy
here
shit.
you charged 2 intent-based crimes without any direct proof whatsoever that the conduct charged was knowing, intentional, or that you were going to have an adequate basis to sustain a conviction or trial?
That's why you go to court.
I felt we had proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I felt that proof included direct testimony from a number of witnesses.
That's exactly right.
To prove the knowing falsity of his claims.
Oh my God. I should have been a
Despite
lawyer.
the fact that in your own deposition you acknowledge the existence of conflicting advice. If this defendant were anyone other than Donald J. Trump, Mr. Smith, I find it hard to believe that we would be sitting here today having a hearing about an indictment that was returned knowing that the elements of the offenses could not be demonstrated. Now, let's talk about this.
What?
I assume you're also familiar with the Department of Justice policy that prohibits prosecutors from selecting the timing of investigative or prosecutorial actions for the purpose of affecting any election.
Yes, I am. That's the election year sensitivities policy, and we followed it in all respects. The public integrity section who administers that policy concurred that we followed it in all respects.
Chairman, my time has expired.
By the way, have you noticed that the woman let him speak? Not like the bitch ass little dudes who can't get their feelings in a fucking bundle.
I was Donald Trump's lawyer. Jack Smith should be celebrated, not vilified. December 16th, 2025, last month.
Objection?
I have I ask unanimous consent to enter the record a criminal complaint filed by the Trump Department of Justice on December 13, 2025, detailing how Kash Patel and the FBI used a confidential human source and an undercover FBI agent to investigate a bomb threat in Los Angeles. And then finally, this is an article published by The Verge on October 19, 2023, titled "Peter Thiel was reportedly an FBI informant," which reports that Peter Thiel served as a confidential human source for the FBI.
Oh, without objection,
I
the
didn't
gentleman
know
from
that.
Arizona is recognized for unanimous consent.
Damn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Wow.
First one is from MSN.com. Biden's FBI paid anti-Trump sedition hunters as informants in J6
Andy Biggs.
Arctic frost probes.
It's Andy Biggs.
Objection.
Jack Smith team approved $20,000 payment to informant to snitch on Trump during Arctic frost.
Andy Biggs, by the way, his name's also mentioned by Sasha Riley.
TNT turned Kevin McCarthy's cell phone records over to Jack Smith.
Objection.
So?
Biden's legal team met with Jack Smith aide before Trump indictment.